Do you want to raise it up a little bit? We could flip it over too if you want it underneath you.
89.
Scott's very
I'll do
demanding.
it. I don't want you to touch anything electronic.
Oh, we're going south. Better hurry up. It might not be there long.
Barlow, that's who that is. Somebody important. I was actually given your name to do this, but I don't know you, so.
My name's Mike.
Definitely got to interview Mike for a Stonecast.
Okay.
Really?
We have a blast.
Are you okay as far as your sight lines go?
Yeah, I'm good.
Pretty loose. I haven't done one yet. We're waiting until springtime to go fishing up on some great wave.
Are you a talker?
I could
Is he
get.
gonna be a talker?
He's getting drunk.
Good. Three, four, five. Starting. Yep.
Against this team, I'd almost say that's your best bet.
Yep.
Okay. Keep an eye on your brother. When there's 2 minutes left, let him and Nate start throwing for the draw.
I think they're focusing on that more right
Okay.
now, so
Okay.
Matt and I were just getting stones down there.
When he's not looking
We'll pull him out.
beneficial,
Yep.
you have to.
Yep.
We need to win the rest of the games.
Yep.
Okay. But
Can I call it an official timeout? Or do we
Um,
just wait until the middle of the end? Or the end of the end?
well, after he's thrown his two of that particular end,
Yep. He can leave
yeah,
whenever.
because you called it technical on.
I called an official, yeah.
Yeah. Just do the same thing. But if he's thrown, if he's thrown his two, and you feel that he's done, then just get my attention.
Okay.
I don't know. Just say.
Somewhere in the darkness, there's a man they call the skipper, fast asleep, dreaming of gold. He wakes before the sun does, even though he'd rather stay in bed. Curses the cold in Minnesota, why's it always so damn cold? He's got a job to do, does it for me and you, and the red and the white and the blue, because he knows he's got the curl. Because he knows he's got the curl. His team is there in red. darkness, there's a man they call the skipper, fast asleep, dreaming of gold.
Good evening from St. Paul. We're at the St. Paul Curling Club covering the West Junior Challenge round. We're in draw 5, I think, now. Is it 5? I'm saying it's 4. Yeah, this is the fifth draw. I'm joined by Scott Belvich. Forgot his name. Ice maker from Chaska Curling Center. Hey, Scott.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, looking good. Way over there. We've got a new arrangement.
We do.
We have a third special guest today. Mm-hmm. We have Carl Ball, who's a friend, Mr. Carl Ball, who is from Chisholm, and he is junior curler extraordinaire back in the day. We went to the World Junior B Curling Championships when he was in his prime, but
he's in his prime right now, to be honest with you.
Well, my eating prime, you know.
All right.
Thanks for having us again, Chris. This is very nice.
So tonight we are talking to. Can you guys talk amongst yourselves? I'm having a technical problem over here.
Absolutely, we do this all the time.
Yeah. Scott likes talking to me.
Where did you have dinner tonight, Carl?
I went to Moscow on the Hill.
Fantastic place right here on Selby Avenue.
Yeah, I loved it. There's a lot of places around the curling club that I actually want to try. So probably the more often I come up here, the more experiences I'll have.
Very nice. What'd you have?
I had, I can't even pronounce them anymore. I can't remember what they were, but they were off their happy hour menu. They have a great happy hour menu, so it was a pretty good deal.
In Moscow on the Hill is just about a block from the curling club to the east, and it is an authentic Russian restaurant that has actually fantastic food and wonderful vodkas.
Are there under any sanctions today because of the election tampering?
I don't know anything about election tampering.
Oh, really? Today the U.S. put sanctions on Russia for attempting to tamper with the U.S. election. I don't know what the sanctions were. I was here all day.
Wow. There's been other sanctions that have happened recently.
Yeah? Mainly doping sanctions, right? No, I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
Let's talk about who we're talking about here. So today we're on sheet 5, show sheet, and it's Stopera in the red versus Parry in the yellow. And on the Stopera rink, it's Andrew Stopera is the skip, Luke Violet is third, Ben Richardson second, and Graham Fenson is the lead. And they're coached by Mark Lazar. And then Parry is in the yellow rocks. Nathan Parry is the skip. Matthew Martin is the third. Caden Osterhaus is second, and Clay Osterhaus our lead. And they're coached by Patrick McDonald. Now, they told me that there's a really strong likelihood that Caden will not play, so then they're going to curl 3, 3, and 2. And they said that's completely legitimate and legal, and they were filling out all the paperwork to make it so.
I hope Caden's okay. Do we know what any reason why he might not be curling?
Tuckered
out?
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't ask.
Now, are these 8-end or 10-end games?
10 ends.
Okay.
There will be a 5th end break.
Yeah.
And when they'll clean the ice a bit, and if they have the time, which can be a little difficult, throw a quick pebble down on the slide path from about the tee line back to the hack. Make sure that the young gentlemen and ladies have a good path to deliver their stones by.
Let me quickly go through the sheets that who's playing on where. So on sheet 1 we have Bear versus Page. Bear is 4-0 and Page is 0-4. In sheet 2 we have Kitchens versus Running. Kitchens is 0-4 and Running is 4-0. Sheet 3 is Quello versus Normandeau. Quello is 2-2 and Normandeau is 2-2.
Normandeau.
Yeah. Ever since you started correcting me with that, I'm sure I pronounced it about 80% correct, but now I think it's about 40% correct, but that's okay. Sheet 4 is Traxler, who's 2-2 versus Padol, which was 2-2. 5 is Stopera, 4-0 versus Parry, 1-3. Sheet 6 is Altus from California, 0-4 versus Fenson, 2-2. Sheet 7 is Slusser 3-1 versus Thompson 2-2. Sheet 8 is Clausen 1-3 versus Moore 3-1. Now, in this event, at the end of the event, the top 4 men's teams go on to the nationals, and currently the top 4 are Stopera and Moore, and then and Slusser, and then Fenson and Thompson are tied for 4th place. And then the women's side, 5 teams are going, and Bear and Running are in, or not in. There's probably some mathematical way to say they're in, but I'm not smart enough. But they're in the lead, and then there are 4 teams that are tied at 2-2, which is Normandu, Padol, Quello, and Traxler, and 3 of those. So a lot's going to be decided today.
This is an important draw, especially to that Traxler Padol game. Both of them being at 2-2, this is a huge game for them. So we'll try and keep a little bit of eye on that on sheet 4, right next to the game we're calling.
Yeah, sheet 3 is that same situation, 2-2 and 2-2. So
right. So those will be great women's games. We'll be able to follow those closely, and obviously at 1-3, that Clausen rink could really use a win to keep themselves in the running for one of those 4 spots. And they are playing more, which they've played a number of times. I know in other junior spiels around the state and.
That Moore team seems like they're really gritty. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the guy wears a flannel farmer shirt, so
that's intimidation right there.
Totally intimidating. Yeah, it's a fantastic shirt. And we did call their game last night, and boy, they really did play very well and kept the pressure on the other team all night long.
And Clausen's last game looked pretty good too. I mean, I think they came back from behind to. I think they were down 1 in the 7th or 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a pretty tight game, but I didn't pull that one out.
Well, the last shot draws have been thrown, and the teams are sliding out and getting loose once again. And if any history repeats itself here, we may see that Stopera rink, which is a HP team and a darn good team. They could be keeping the pressure on and moving on. I would think if they get to 5-0, that would pretty much lock up a spot for them into the junior nationals.
Now, Graham Fenson, is he the last one of the Fensons curling right now in juniors?
I am not sure about
Or
that.
the
I believe
youngest,
there's 2. Yeah, he may be the youngest, correct. Our lead rock is underway. Skip's holding about 4 feet of broom across all the sheets. And this looks like a pretty nice draw here by this young man for Parry, which is Clay Osterhaus, I believe.
And it looks like they're keeping all 4 into their lineup for the game.
They are in. Okay, nice call there, Mr. Ball. Caden looks like he is on the ice. The young Fenson comes out with a hit.
Yep.
I think they may play a hit game in this first end. You see that happen a lot in competitive curling, don't you, Carl? In that first end, they kind of get loose and.
Yeah, just to kind of save some time for the more aggressive ends that you want to play later on in the game. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to be looking at the lines on the ice, so kind of testing out the sheet a little bit.
This young man has come out with a little bit too light a weight, and that rock is going to curl right by, unfortunately. A little tight with his intern and a little light, and he missed, and immediately Andrew Stopera is calling for top 12 on an intern for Graham to split the house, as they do have hammer.
Dex said this morning that he always tells his teams when they come out after the fifth end break to
Line's
do that
good.
too. Just do a hit game for
Right
just to
here.
kinda get the ice warmed up and get themselves warmed up and judge how things are going.
Luke, if anything.
I guess it depends on what how
Just top 12 is good.
the game's going, but
Could I ask that you
Right here.
turn down the
Whoa.
mic on
Let
the
it sit, let it
players
sit.
in
Good,
my
nice shot.
earphones?
How's that? I can't do that,
Okay. No
but I can
problem.
turn them down.
Caden's first rock, the second for Team Parry, looking to remove Graham's second. And it's a possible double here. He's on the outside and
Close.
ran underneath the Stopera rock and rolled out.
Same
So
thing.
they will split the house once again with Ben Richardson's first.
Now I know, Scott, you've been calling a couple more games this week or week. Has there been a lot of movement on the ice too? A lot of curl to it.
Really nice curl out here. We're seeing a good solid 4 feet. And keen ice. Keen ice. We talked about keen ice yesterday. Chris had a lot of questions. What is keen ice?
And it has to
Anybody-
do with the water temperature.
Line's good.
Hot water makes keen ice.
Well, what does it do? What did we
Line's
talk
not
about
bad,
yesterday?
Luke.
It removes what?
Oxygen?
There you go.
Line's good.
Oh, you're
Got
passing your
me.
test.
Get
Can
in
do I
here,
get a
go.
certificate?
Gotta go hard.
You are now a .3 level ice maker.
Hard.
That's all I want to be. They work too hard.
How many folks we got watching there, Mr. Producer?
33.
33. Anybody wants to chime in with anything they know about these two rinks that are on the ice? I know the young Stopera rink is mostly out of the East Coast area. This Parry rink is made up of a couple young men from the Fargo Moorhead Club, as well as Partyville, Wisconsin, which who wouldn't like to live in a town called Partyville?
I know I would, other than it's in Wisconsin.
Hey, easy now.
That's not true. I just say that for fun. We have online, we have Rebecca Clark is back watching. She says this is the cheapest form of entertainment.
Very cheap. yes.
Streaming
Yeah.
curling. Costs us heart and soul. She also says she's hoping that we'll let her call a game at the Wrench.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be fun. That's down in Arizona, I believe, correct?
I don't know. Is that the Coyote?
Doesn't look
Coyote Curling Club. They get some big
Is that
names
called?
go down there.
It's
I
called the
think.
Wrench.
Yeah, after Ed Wernich.
Yep.
I might not be pronouncing that correctly, but he's.
It's hard to believe that you would do anything incorrectly.
Oh, jeez. There we go.
Well, you guys are at the glass. I'm back here.
That will be a very competitive spiel if that'll happen. The wrench. So
What?
good time.
I know it's rough.
I think we are into thirds rocks all of a sudden, and the Parry rink's still looking for an intern kind of hit and roll to that back Stopera rock that's in the back 8, and either double it out or sit near the top of it.
Get over there.
That's a beautiful shot.
Nice.
Well done. He didn't quite get it all the way out, but he is in a nice spot above that rock.
Rebecca says that we can't commentate at the Coyotes. We're not good enough. But I think we should go down there and spiel, and then she could commentate us.
Our game?
Yeah.
I have a work location down there, so I could kind of write it off as a work trip.
My grandpa and grandma used to live there 30 years ago.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I would like to retire to the Prescott, Arizona area. Personally, I've been down there a couple times. It's a beautiful, beautiful area, and a good friend of everybody here at the St. Paul Curling Club, Mark Arnold, he did retire down there.
I thought it was called Prescott. No?
Well, if you're from Arizona, you actually call it Prescott.
Oh, he's just so full of knowledge. I'm learning everything.
That's a beautiful area right near 89A. Runs you up to the Sedona area and then up to Flagstaff, which is also a great little town. Well, they did get the jam here, and that Parry rink is looking to make a force here if they can get this Red Rock out. And once again, they've thrown their intern a bit narrow and unfortunately ran their own out. So Para has the opportunity to split the house once again with his thirds last, I believe. This would be Luke Violet.
Just even. Even.
Okay, I gotta ask.
Line's
So
good.
I'm starting to see a trend of
Line's good.
the handkerchief in the back pocket. Is that like a Matt
Right
Hamilton
here.
kind of thing?
Right
Maybe
on the
that's a
tee.
glove.
That could be too.
Whoa, whoa. Yep.
That could be a hammy kind of thing, though. You know, that guy, he pulls a lot of weight.
He's a trendsetter.
He is a trendsetter.
That's a pretty textbook splitting of the house.
Perfect. They're
Oofta.
even rocks. There's no way they can make a double there. They're in a position to, at best, hold them to one with a mistake from Stopera if they even get that. And my bet is they will end up the Stopera rink with a deuce to start the game. And this one is also a bit narrow and curling hard on that inside-out track. And you might get enough of it. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, he's got it. Might not get it all the way up.
Oof.
Just enough.
Just
Center
enough.
line's good.
It's a great position for Andrew to be in right off the bat to get his draw weight down here, splitting the house, sitting two. Big confidence builder. Kind of if you're golfing and you're on the first hole and you hit that drive down the center of the fairway and you just got a good feeling about the rest of your round, this could be a positive start for Andrew.
Yeah, this game does have a lot of mental aspects, that's for sure.
Yeah, just even's good.
It's for darn sure.
A little more.
Yeah, especially with these 10-in games. I mean, they do get quite tiring, especially if you end up having to play them back-to-back. I mean,
Yeah, these young folks are playing 3 today, correct?
That's correct.
That's a lot of curling when you're playing 10 ends, if you play all 10.
Just tee, guys. Line's good.
especially at a competitive level like this,
Just
it's
tee line.
very draining, especially on the sweepers.
Line's good. Right on the tee. All right, Ben.
Nice draw by Andrew
Hard.
here. It's going to be right near that tee
Hard.
line.
All the way, keep going hard.
Perfect.
Nice placement there.
Bring a little more weight.
What about these other sheets? We got those important games on sheet 3 and 4, the 2 and 2 teams.
I don't see any scores yet.
No, they're still playing the first.
I know you're kind of a super curling person, so you can look at all sorts of sheets and keep track of what's going on.
Get it?
Carl, he's talking to you.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
Carl.
he was talking to
so
you,
give
Scott.
us an update.
It's a nice shot by Mr. Parry. It's going to roll over. Unfortunately, not quite get to that red rock, but it was a nice effort. And here comes the hammer from Andrew. He's coming down the ice towards us. He's got a nice intern hit. The Parry rink threw their interns on this same type of line, a little bit tight. Andrew does definitely has a tight broom here.
Yeah, I just do.
If he's down weight at all, we may see it curl up a bit. But he's had this shot more than once in a lot of different places. I would trust he knows what he's doing, and my guess is he'll make the shot.
Yep.
He is
Right
a
on.
little bit tight, and there it goes. It did overcurl on that same kind of line, and he is going to miss that yellow rock for a very, very fortunate steal out of the Parry rink for one.
Yeah, it looks like sheet 4 has got some rocks in play early on in the game, too. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
It is Traxler Podell. I believe Traxler throwing red rocks, sitting 1 right now, or maybe not. That yellow rock is, I think she's throwing a guard here, so my guess is she would be sitting 1, but that rock over-curled as well. A little soft handle on her rock, to be honest with you. It really curled hard there. Didn't quite cover up what she wanted. Giving the Podell rink Boy, that's a tough name to pronounce. If anybody can give us a phonetical spelling of that that's watching a game, that'd be great.
Yeah, it looks like all the sheets are running pretty clean games for that first end. Sheet 7 seems to have a few in play, but I can't quite tell what's going on over there.
Here comes the last rock for the Podol rink, and she's just trying to tap her one on the top of the floor towards the back of the floor
Looks like the
into the
Supers
red
are-
rock, and this looks like a beautiful shot.
Nice.
Very nice. She is now sitting one, and the hammer that's going to need to be thrown by the Traxler rink is needing to get a little bit more of the button, and this is going to be a tough draw.
I switched the camera over to that sheet 4 so you can take a look at it. Boy, a lot of activity over on sheet 6 too.
A lot of
Lot of
rocks in
rocks.
play, you
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah, sheet 6 looks like yellow is counting 1 there. Red's looking at a run back.
What sheet are you looking at, bud?
Sheet 6. I don't see any good angles around there anywhere.
Yeah, they got some. We're talking about it for a while here. Raising one back in. The Traxler hammer shot is coming up a bit light, a bit tight, and it will be one, I believe, just one for Podell. Sorry about that if I'm mispronouncing it. Sheet 3, also the important game in the Gales, the 2-2 teams of Quello and Norman Dew. I didn't quite see they're kicking rocks in. We'll get a score hung. It looks like 2 for the local girls, the Norman Dew rink. The young Fenson's coming out, looking to come under the corner guard and above the yellow rock that the Nathan Parry Clay Osterhaus had thrown at lead for the Parry rink.
It's another Fenton on 6. Just threw his rock there. It looks like they think I don't know if it picked, but looks like he was clearing some debris on the center of that ice. But yeah, I think they were trying for a tap.
If it's that bad, you don't
but
switch.
didn't get anything come out of it.
Maybe it was from Ozzy's hat.
That
Ah.
could be.
That would be very clever.
We called the San Francisco Bay Area Curlers yesterday night. They played. Who did they play against now? I'm not remembering, unfortunately.
The Wisconsin team, right?
Altus is from the Bay Area.
No, but they played the Wisconsin team. The one with flannel jacket.
Yeah, more.
Oh, more. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez. I have a great memory. It's just really short. It was fun calling those the young men from the Bay Area. They're gonna improve steadily, and they gave a valiant effort last night.
Oh, we got an update that Clay Osterhaus is actually skipping the Parry rink tonight, and Nathan Parry is throwing lead.
We got to switch that on the old scorecard here.
I don't have enough hands for that.
Yeah,
but-
I got it.
Just Graham. Yep.
So Nathan's throwing lead.
Well, then, let
Yeah,
it
you know, I
off,
think
off,
they
off.
told me that downstairs, but I was being overwhelmed with information.
That's it.
So thank you for that update.
Say that one more time, please. Nathan Osterhaus
Yep,
is
yep,
throwing
yep,
lead.
Yes. No, Clay Osterhaus is skipping, and Parry is skipping, and Nathan Parry is throwing lead.
Got it. Might be why the lead's jacket said Parry on the back, but I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I was trusting our producer, the technical guy over there.
You know, on my team, I require everybody to wear my last name.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I'm going to turn that up. That's Scott Belvage's phone you're hearing there.
Yeah, we got to turn that baby off.
Wow, what is that?
It's in the jacket behind you there, Carl.
Well, maybe it's an ice emergency. Oh, yeah, there we could get it.
Close. Whoa, whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa.
Oh, got an update.
Yes, yes.
You're welcome for that update.
Forward.
Although you could have just read it because you're online.
Forward.
Looks like sheet 8 more jumped out to an early lead, picking up 2 in that first end. And sheet 7 looks like Gloucester.
Slusser. Thompson?
Yeah, they're up 3.
I think it's Slusser, actually.
Slusser?
I think that's...
Slussar?
Your U looks like an O.
Is it Slusar or Slusser?
Slusser.
Slusser. All right, we got that from the Peanut Gallery,
There
the
we go.
cowboy boot wearing.
I love that cowboy hat back there, by the way. That is
That's
fantastic.
the mom. I'm the sister. I corrected you guys.
Mom and sister are here. Thanks for coming and correcting us. We need a lot of that. Back to sheet 5, Carl. What's going on, buddy?
Not too many rocks in play. It looks like
Line's good.
Stoper's playing a draw here.
Line's good.
Probably up to that yellow, just buried behind that corner guard.
Freeze it.
Yellow
Bend,
rock
bend.
is behind the tee line, and this
Bend.
looks like it's coming in there very nice.
Graham, just Graham.
Boys are putting a
Whoa.
on again,
Lock
off
it on,
again
lock it
broom
on.
to it, which is always a good
Lock it on.
sign. And
Good. Real nice.
beautiful, very nice shot. And that shot was courtesy of second. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that the third? That was the third. Luke Violet. Nice shot, Luke.
And it looks like Parry is calling for a hit here, which I'm a little surprised on.
I am too. That Red Rock is behind the tee line, and once again, their in-turn hits is a bit narrow and over-curled, and has left an even better guard for the Stopera rink, and he's going to come right back under that baby again. Luke just threw the shot. He hopefully has that same draw weight.
Yeah, it was a pretty risky call there, too. I mean, even if he had made it, I think that the jam was there to keep that red rock in play as well.
I agree. Right down the stick, Luke is.
Yep.
Boys are again on again, off
Line's
again.
good.
Ben Richardson
Room.
holding it out a bit.
Graham.
It's always good to see because you know that weight's really close if they're
All right, Graham.
off
You
and
got
on
it.
on that rock.
Yep. Go here. Keep
Easy,
going, yep.
guys.
I think they're going to be sticking out a bit there.
They are going to be sticking out a bit and actually offering a
Nice little
probably
pocket.
about a control weight or a hack weight, board weight double. I'd call those two Red Rocks a pair of pants.
I was about to ask, thanks. It was like the one word I could get in edgewise, and you took it away, but at least I can participate this way. Thank you.
Wow, he's going to run that yellow rock straight back on it. It's an interesting call.
Do you think that he can run that straight back and get the pair of pants?
It will have to be perfect, but yes, it is available in there. I thought he'd perhaps throw that in turn because it really is curling there.
Or even if he hit that one on the inside and he got to roll over to the other.
Yeah. He did have options there, and he makes a nice shot.
There you go.
Do I have enough air? I'm just wondering. 2? 2?
At least a pair with
Two. Yeah, you think that's enough?
an option for a hit and roll
A little
here.
less then.
Probably be right under that corner guard.
first end, Andrew was throwing this
No, I'm fine.
in-turn hit with his
This is
hammer
okay.
shot. Unfortunately, it did overcurl on him, and they did give up the steal
no,
of one.
His way. Can I have my
We'll
broom?
see how he throws this rock. Same in-turn hit. Make the shot and sit 2.
2.
Altus and Fenton have a pretty aggressive end going on right now. Quite a few rocks in play, most of them behind the tee line.
Close. Yep.
Rockwood seems to be on a pretty good line, but Ben is sweeping hard to hold it out. It is curling quite a bit. Will make the shot. Unfortunately, gets a jam to sit just the 1 as he rolled out. It's a little bit tighter in that in-turn slide
Down
once
or
again.
just
Opportunity here for
got it going a hair maybe?
Clay Osterhaus to draw down to their rock behind the tee and force a draw if he can lock down on that red rock, right?
Right.
Probably where you had the room the first time.
Yeah.
Mrs. Clausen, Linda Clausen, is pacing feverishly behind us, trying to get a glimpse of her sons playing on sheet 8.
It's making me a little nervous,
Very
actually.
important game. I can't see it at all because I have this beautiful wood paneling in front of me.
I have a heater, a sublimating machine, sublimation machine.
I heard you learned all about that yesterday.
Oh, I already knew a lot about sublimation. I just didn't know heaters did that.
Unfortunately, Clay's rock came up a little bit light and overcurled, crashed on his own rock above the house, and it's going to leave an open draw for
LSD weight's good, right?
Andrew to score 2.
Same
And
weight as
take
the
the lead.
LSD. I mean, it's a different turn, but
Now he played a hit on his first one, so let's see if he can dial that weight back and get that nice draw weight down. I mean, he's got a whole house to work with, so kind of works to his advantage.
Here comes the hammer. Sheet 5, the show sheet at the St. Paul Curling Club out of Andrew Stopera's hand. The boys are kind of putting a light sweep to it as it crosses the St.
Yep, you
Paul
can go,
Curling
can't
Club
hurt it.
crest and through the hog line
Can't hurt
and
it.
into the house. Looks like
Yep,
a
keep
fine
going.
shot right down into the 4-foot. Nice draw by Andrew.
Nice weight.
good end.
2 for the Stopera rink. And they have the lead after 2.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had the opportunity where you had to, all you had to do is draw into the house and you get a point
How are
and
we
you
at?
totally missed it? Ever had that
He's
happen?
so quick. With 3 minutes
Well,
behind them.
usually not a
I think
draw.
we're fine.
Mine's usually an open takeout, out turn. Normally,
just goes so
throw
quick.
those out turns out.
You flash it?
I flash
okay.
them.
Keep it quick.
That's known as
dude,
a
we're not doing
beetle
anything too
breezer.
complicated, so-
Yeah. We
No,
should
what
get
you're
around to
doing
those.
Yes, I have had that happen more often than I would care to admit,
It's pretty embarrassing.
Mr. Christopher.
Yeah, I had it happen once
Well, only once.
that I remember.
Isn't
Yeah.
that the Smitty special when you draw it right to the hack?
Yeah. Well, last night I did tell a story about when I had a draw similar to that, and my guy swept it all the way through the house, and we got off the ice, and I said, "What happened there? I can't believe you guys swept it all the way, and it was still too heavy."
But
So just to do a quick update, we've got the scores up, but
I didn't
Bears up 5-0 over Page on sheet 1.
Altus drawn in for sitting 3 now.
Running is up 2-0 over, I think. Yep.
Line's good.
3-0 over Kitchens.
Hard.
Normandu is up 2-0 over
All the way, Ben. You got
Quello. Looks like Padall is 1-0 over Trexler.
it. I think we're pretty much
Padal.
even with time.
Padall, thank you.
It's like 7 minutes for the first 2 ends,
And
so it's we're pretty
Benson is
close to just
1-0 over the Californian Altus team. I can't see sheet 7, but I'll look up on the screen. Sheet 7, Slusser is 3-0 over Thompson. And I have no idea what's going on with Clausen and Moore, but I think Moore is up 2-0.
I see 2-0,
Yeah.
and they're coming down skips rocks, I do believe, and the Clausen rink is sitting 1 for sure.
Yeah, I think
right
it's just one.
full 4 under plenty of guards. And it looks like Josh Moore.
Our crack technical team has corrected the order, so Nathan Parry is listed as lead. Not anymore, because he's not on this team, but
Nice lead stone by the young Fenson there, right to the top 4, and here he comes
Line's good.
out with his last in
Ben,
the third
line's
end,
good.
looking
Ben's
to
rock
throw
still.
a little bit lighter weight and
Luke.
guard that rock.
Yep.
Scott, I did discover what
Hard
Graham's
lift.
dad's name is.
Whoa. Yep.
And that would be
Fenson.
Whoa.
Ah, perfect.
Good.
I think it's Eric Fenson, the brother, I think. Is it Eric Fenson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor Eric.
The brother.
Looks like on sheet 6, Alta says draw to sit 3 again. Might want to just freeze right up to theirs.
I can't see that.
Is
house
it Zevi?
at all.
Is it Zevi? Is that what it is? Zevi shooting? Zavi?
Zevi.
Zevi.
Zevi's got a little in-turn foot and a slide path, kind of opposite of what you see
Yeah.
most curlers do, where they turn their heel inward. He turns his heel outward.
Fine, dude.
He is right down the stick, though.
It's a little heavy.
Looks like he's going to tap, though.
Still sitting 3.
Very nice shot.
Yeah, there's no place to stand in there.
Clean. Whoa.
I have a question for you guys.
Clean. Good.
How many rocks can you get inside the 4-foot? Completely inside the 4-foot.
4.
And don't,
Yeah.
let's see, maybe one of our listeners and watchers will
All
chime
right.
in on
Well,
that.
I think it's 4.
We'll tell you, I'll give you the answer at the break after this third end, which has the Osterhaus rink throwing a run back double, tempting to, and boy, once again, that line, that in turn, they're just not holding enough broom out there, guys. And it seems to be curling up on them pretty good there. Once again, Stopera is going to throw a guard up above that Graham Fenson rock that sits at the top 4. I see Colin Simpson down there. He's officiating tonight. He's standing between sheets 5 and 6, looking very official.
Yeah, Lonnie's on the other side between 3 and 4, looking very serious. He always looks serious, though.
Very serious. Very stern, very serious. All the officials here at the St. Paul Curling Club for this fine West Junior Regional are making sure everybody's in line.
I was here before for Lonnie's the junior program that he runs, and he does an impressive job. They have a great program here for their junior curling.
Did he talk at all about Ruby?
A lot.
Yeah, he's like really looking forward to Ruby getting up to bantams.
Yeah.
He told me that the other day. He was looking for a donation though at the same time. I don't know what that's all about.
Jim Dexter always used to say when I was out pebbling the ice, "Oh, that Belvich, he's one of the best pebblers around in the country." And every time I'd have to give him $10. I'd say it in front of people.
That sounds like he just wants you to pebble.
You're exactly right, actually.
That's also like when you have one person on your team that can do the nipper. You're like,
yeah, just right.
Oh, you're really good. I'd do it, but you're really good at it.
All the way.
I'm surprised you haven't been roped in to help out with ice here, Scott.
No, not at all. Mr. Zvaknik is doing an excellent job with his crew.
I actually told them not to rope him in. I said, we have the talent up here, and it's a different union.
They'd have to buy out his contract.
Scott, did you go down and look at the ice maker door downstairs in the basement?
I did. Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. Actually, I still curl here at the St. Paul Curling Club Thursday nights, and my locker's down there. So I get to enjoy that dungeon once a week.
Your locker's downstairs?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where's your old locker?
In the same place my current one is.
Do you pay $50 for it?
I pay well more than $50.
You know,
Anyway, let's get back to curling.
emotional damage doesn't count.
Luke's throwing another guard. They have been guarding this lead rock of Graham Fenson's each time and every time, and the Parry rink trying to run it back for a double has seen most of their rocks curl just a little too much and not be able to run straight back for that double. They're going to try it again, but now they're going to come from the outturn side, which is probably a good decision. We'll see how this rock runs here.
Steve Leon says that his guess is you can fit 8 rocks in.
Steve, that's a good guess, and I'm not going to say anything more, but keep them coming. Good effort.
Ended up with a straight peel on 5.
Right there.
And down to Skip's rocks, and Andrew is going to guard that rock again. This would be quite something if they can manage to hold on and throw guard after guard on the first rock thrown and make that score.
It's starting to get loud in here.
It's Thursday night at the St. Paul Curling Club. It can get a little raucous in this place.
I meant in the chat room.
Oh, the chat room's going. How many viewers do we have now?
55.
Holy moly. Andrews first.
Oh, line's good. Line's
Trying to steal here in the third end, throwing on the exact same line everybody else
good. All right,
has.
Graham.
Looking to pull it over to that center line and leave a good guard. He has got nice guard weight. Just got to keep it moving a little bit more.
Yep.
Fine shot out of Andrew. Nice finish on that rock, right to the center line. Very nice guard.
Makes that run a little bit easier, though, for the other team there, because it's not as high a guard as the other ones have been.
Absolutely, Carl, you're right about that. It does make it a little bit easier.
What do you like on the next?
They're out of the house, though, so even if they do make the run,
Well, I was just wondering if
they won't be in the house scoring to allow Andrew to probably peel that out then and either force a blank or force one out of the Parry rink. Osterhaus rink, sorry about that.
you think we play?
Whatever you want. I don't mind giving it a but he's been able to feels all in.
Okay.
Left with a straight peel again after that
Yeah.
shot.
Andrew's thinking about tapping that red rock back. What was his final decision? Do we know?
A hair less.
Not sure. I think he's guarding.
Looks like a
again.
guard.
Yeah. No. I think he is going to throw the same shot.
No, same shot.
Yeah.
That's a guard. You like the tap?
Yeah, I think if they'd played that tap, it'd give
It slips in if something.
it'd give
About there.
Parry an out
Close.
of the end with probably a double.
Mm-hmm. Correct, it would. But it would also force them to one. But I like this shot as a guard, not in the house, and forcing him to either
Line's
try to
good.
make the double and blank the end, or he just needs about
Line's good.
a bit of the forefoot with his draw to get one. And that's a little bit of pressure.
G. Yep.
Nice guard there.
Yes.
They have thrown 7 perfect guards in this end.
Split a hair wider. Draw.
And that's the call.
Full 4.
Clay looking to draw a full 4 on the outturn side. With the hammer here in the third end, this could be a 2-point swing. That young man does not hesitate at all in the hack. He's already out.
I really like that in players when they do that.
I like that as well.
They're on it pretty hard right out of his hand.
I'm not sure they need to be on it too much more. It's got more for holding line, and oh boy, it is curling hard, and it is going to be on the Stopera rock. And it will be a steal of 1 for the Stopera rink. Just a little bit light there. You're right, Carl. Good
A lot of game left though, so I mean it's not too bad.
Only a 2-point game. You're right. Third end. We're coming back home in the fourth end. Any more guesses on that? How many rocks you can get in the 4-foot? Inside the 4-foot, completely inside.
No.
You get a free beer if you can guess right.
Yeah, you know our offer last game about the T-shirt? Did you bring that T-shirt? I've got to pay up on that.
Is that a Chaska Curling Club T-shirt?
Yeah, we were going to give a Chaska
T-shirt?
Curling Center T-shirt and a St. Paul Curling
Pin.
I think we're going to do a shirt. I don't know.
The technical guy, did he take notes on that? The producer over there?
We just have to verify. One person emailed in, and we have to verify that they are indeed the 50th.
Oh, that's right.
Viewer.
So no other guesses, just the one gentleman guessed 8?
Yeah. What does Rebecca think? Yeah, she's given us a lot of feedback, and she's probably stopped watching.
She's probably at a curling club right now, shoving rocks into the 4-foot.
Yeah. Doing research.
Actually, the answer, believe it or not, is 14. You can get 14 curling stones completely inside the 4-foot. And I've seen Mike Farbelow come close to doing that in a couple of games before against other teams, because nobody likes to play inside the 4-foot more than Mike Farbelow, I don't believe.
I just met Mike Farbelow for the first time. He's got a stern handshake and a sterner look.
One of the nicest curlers you'll ever meet. Next to you and Carl.
You could just present company excluded.
The lead rock for the Stopera rink is in the back 8, and Clay has chosen to throw a corner guard, which is nice and tight to the house. They can't take that out. Why can't they take that out, Carl Ball?
Free guard zone.
Oh, I thought it was because the handle was pointing towards the back of the house.
The free guard zone. So for those maybe listeners out there or watchers out there that are new to curling, the free guard zone is you can't remove lead stones that are not in the house. You can move them. You just cannot remove them from play.
And I think that's kind of where a lot of beginner curlers get a little confused with the free guard zone. They think that if they move it, they have to put it back as well. But no, you have to completely remove that rock out of play.
That's when it would go back.
Yep.
Rebecca Clark answered. She said she didn't want to think about measurements. I've got a question for you guys.
Sure.
How many new curlers that don't know about the free guard zone are watching junior curling streamed live from the St. Paul Curling Center?
I don't know. I don't really want to
club.
go around.
How many viewers do we have?
55.
I'm going to say 3.
I don't know. Where do you like that? I don't know.
All right. So if anybody is listening or watching on the YouTube deal that didn't know about the free guard zone, new curler who's watching streaming on a Thursday night. Although they're actually, I bet you there's parents.
Oh, that could be.
Or relatives.
Friends and family.
Yeah, you see a lot of that in junior curling more than anywhere else. Friends and family, aunts and uncles, grandma, grandpa. They like to come out and watch kids play, and rightfully so. It was very entertaining. These young folks out here curling, I got to say, they handle themselves extremely well. A lot of class out of these young guys. And they should all
and gals.
And gals, yes, thank you. And they should all be very proud of how they handle themselves. And that also is a testament to all their parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers, sisters, and everybody else.
Whoa. Whoa, hard roll, really hard roll. Go.
Looks like Stopera is setting up to have a pretty nice end here. Sitting 3 already, pretty early on. Looks like Parry is calling for a double here.
There's a pair of pants there.
Yeah, or an L.
Otherwise known as trousers. Here comes that intern rock on that other side of the center line, holding the line well, and this is going to be a nice shot for the double.
Very good.
Stopera calling for his own double now.
Peel.
Peel weight.
Do you notice that when Linda's
high.
looking over there on sheet 8, she's rolling her hands like she's a worried mother?
She does. She does that, yes. She's folding them, and she's also getting her toes in shape for Mexico by wearing her flip-flops around a lot right now. Make sure she doesn't blister
Really
while
hard.
she walks the beach.
Hard. Hard. Fine.
Nice effort there by Luke. Just a little bit off, just a fraction narrow.
Scott, I guess I'm supposed to give Eric a shout out. Your right-hand man down at the Chaska Curling Center.
Is he texting you?
Maybe.
I'll give him a shout out. That young man does a fine job and helps me out and the whole curling center down there in Chaska out a great deal. So thank you, Mr. Eric Strelke, for all of your help. All you do. There's a bunch of other guys down there as well. Gary Bonnet is one of my guys down there. That's fantastic.
I'm there too sometimes.
Scott, where are we right now?
St. Paul Curling Club.
Keep it here.
Oh, sorry. It's like when you hear someone else sing a song, and you say, "Who sings that song?" And they say, "Well, it's Simon and Garfunkel." Well, let's keep it that way.
That's all right. I like the shout-outs. That's nice. People listening. We're all one big happy family. But some people have aluminum foil roofs, and some people have wooden roofs.
Fine shot here by Luke. Well done, and that Stopera rink just keeps the pressure on every single end, similar to what we watched last night. Clay calling for a hit and roll, and he's calling for some pretty heavy weight here. He's calling for up weight hit and roll. I would think something more in the control area or board weight would be helpful, but he probably knows his players way better than we do.
Looks like on sheet 7, I'll probably butcher this again, but Slusher has pretty much cinched up the game there.
This nose.
Looks to be ahead 6-0.
Oh, we saw some big leads last night disappear, though, so it's still early in the game. And remember, Carl, they're playing 10 ends.
This is true. This is true. Throw up a few corner guards, and you never know what'll happen.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Clean.
Luke's last here on sheet 5 in the fourth end.
Clean.
Soft weight
Hit.
outside hit out in the 12-foot, otherwise kind of known as the swamp, as Jeff Isaacson likes to say. When you throw it way out there, it can be a little swampy.
Or the cabbage. I've heard the cabbage reference before by one Susan Merrick.
A little bit.
Ooh,
A little
Susan
different
Merrick.
than Ben's. Like Ben started to curl and yours
Oh.
didn't.
Brian Osterhaus didn't know about the free guard zone.
There's one.
I said 3.
All right, so we need 2 more. Rebecca has a message, a really long message, that she wants me to write down and discuss. We're going to have a discussion about it.
Roll under there. We just had a very, very nice shot
How
by
much you got?
Matthew Martin. His last, the third for the Parry rink, just made a very nice hit on that outside Stopera rock that was out in the 12-foot and rolled into the 4.
We wrecked, so.
And it can't be showing much more than about half of their rock to Andrew, who's getting ready to throw what appears to be about a board weight or control weight hit. Try to remove that rock with his first
Board.
here in the 4th.
Yeah, it looks like the Clausen Moore game's pretty tight over there on sheet 8. With just the score being at 2-1, so it's a nice tight game over there.
That's why Mrs. Clausen is wringing her hands and pulling her hair out right now. Hold on. Typically on a Thursday night here at the St. Paul Curling Club, we would have the 7 and 9 draws, which I actually play in. You play at 7 o'clock one week, and then the next week you rotate to the 9 o'clock time. And the curling that's going on right now is considerably better than the 7-9 draw on Thursday night.
Have you been over here on Tuesday? I curl on Tuesday, and Tuesday is significantly better than this.
Oh, I don't believe that. Anyway, Andrew made a really nice, exactly board weight hit and did remove the rock. He is sitting out in the open, which if Clay can make that same type of hit and roll, his third Matthew Martin made, he is going to still be sitting in a good position. However, his rock has stayed wide and is going to roll out and leave Andrew opportunity to draw under his guard. That's half 12.
Here.
And,
But I've been given for G for the button, so that should be close for me. That's what I've been giving him for the button, so that should be close for me.
Looks like over on sheet 4, Padal is 4 up against, or 3 up, excuse me, against Traxler.
Is this same ice I've been giving
The
you?
Alaska rink.
if you look at that scoreboard, you might think, if you don't know what the free guard zone is, you might think on sheet 4 the score was 123 to nothing, based on the fact that they scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, or 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third.
I was like, how are you keeping score there?
Yeah.
The video folks can't see the scoreboards. We want them to watch us. Then we want to watch scoreboards.
Or if you're in town, definitely stop by the St. Paul Curling Club. Check out the action live.
Cheapest beer in town, folks.
Hard,
And it's good beer.
That's right.
It's not cheap beer cheap.
hard,
It's good beer cheap.
And they have good food here, too.
hard, guys, you got
Yeah,
it.
pizzas are fantastic. Soup's good.
Andrew trying to get in there, and what has he left once
Double.
again?
Trousers.
Trousers are available, and he could probably sneak right in there and sit one. I'm not sure that's what he wants to do versus blank the end.
Being this is an old Scottish game, wouldn't the correct term be knickers?
Well said. Very well said.
Isn't that underwear? I thought knickers was underwear.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Here comes
I felt really good about
Clay
It is a good one,
Osterhaus's
yeah.
final rock, the hammer in the fourth for a double on the trousers, and he sneaks into the 12, and it's 1 for Osterhaus. After 4, he is now down 3-2. Without the hammer, play the 5th end, the final end before their quick break.
Yep. Back quad. Back,
Well
back-
played end by both rinks, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely a great end. Nice close game too by both teams. I kind of wonder if in the second half of the game if either team's gonna come out a little bit more aggressive and we'll see some more rocks in play.
That would be fun. It's always fun to see a lot of rocks in play, but we shall see.
So
what
looks over on
happens.
sheet 1. Bear is up even more, 7-1 over Page. Running is 3-1 over Kitchens. Normandu and Quello are tied. Padal is 3-0 over Traxler. Podal. Gosh, it's hard work. Stopera is 3-1 over Parry. Slusser is 6-0 over Thompson on sheet 7. I should skipped sheet 6 because Fenson is up 2-0 over Altus, and Clausen and Moore are tied 2 apiece.
Important games out there, as we mentioned earlier. A couple of those Gales teams are at 2-2. Quello, Normandu,
Yeah.
Traxler, Podal, and Clausen Rink fighting for a spot as well on sheet 8 against one of the top teams in Josh Moore's rink. Start of the fifth. Clay has his lead. Nathan come into the house. I'm not sure if that was intended or not, but Graham Fenson has made a very nice hit and roll to the forefoot. And this end is setting up to be rather defensive as well. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, I think they're just going to look to kind of get done with this end rather quickly, take a nice break, and then come back and see how aggressive they get from that point.
Here's our intern hit on that line we've been calling all game.
That moved, eh?
And it did move, and once again, they have just not figured out that they need a little bit more broom on that line. And they just don't do it, and it's over curled. That's been, I believe, 3 or 4 rocks, including Andrew Stopera's in the first that allowed the steal of 1 for Clay.
I almost wondered, though, too, if maybe he's throwing a little bit lighter weight than what the skip's expecting, because I think some of his other teammates are throwing a little bit more weight on those.
How much?
Running a little bit straighter, maybe.
That's where communication is key.
Yes.
To make sure that they understand what kind of weight they're looking at for throwing. Especially when you know a line such as that is moving. And after throwing the hit with his first, unfortunately, the young Fenson came a little bit heavy with his draw, trying to split the house, which you do see that happen on occasion. Kind of tough to throw that hit with your first rock and then come right back with a draw, especially on this keen ice. And now they have held more broom, and here it comes in with that same intern hit. And unfortunately, he has missed it on the other side. They are struggling on that line. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a tricky line or, like we talked about, if it's just an issue of communication to make sure that you're throwing the right weight. A lot of these teams out here have varying levels of takeout weight that they're throwing, so maybe it's just that's not getting communicated across correctly.
Line's good.
Chris, what do you think?
T-line.
You know, I just think you miss sometimes. That's what I would say.
Hard, Graham.
I'd say
And
that.
the good teams miss less.
That's right. You know, we talked about that last night too, a little bit about competitive curling. It's often not a game of makes, but it's a game of who misses more, and it's rare that they do, and when they do, the other team capitalizes.
I'm well rested.
Kind of like takeaways in football.
Takeaways?
Well, you know, when the defense from the football team gets a fumble recovery or an interception or a block punt,
Gotcha.
those takeaways are extremely important in those games.
Sometimes you can go on a 5-0 run if your defense is doing that.
And then what happens?
Well,
At the fifth end break, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Vikings and the jinx that is upon them and how it can be removed.
Isn't it just the state of Minnesota jinx? Because, I don't know.
what are you talking about? The Gophers just won the Hoop-de-Doo Bowl. Jinx gone.
And then the Wild are on a, 11 win streak?
Hey, they're on right now, by the way.
Oh?
1-1 against the Islanders, I believe.
Clean. Close. Yep.
And this end is setting up very defensively. However, Stopera is looking once again to split the house. And this is a 1-point game at 3-2. However, it's been very much controlled by the Stopera rink from the beginning.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that the Osterhaus, you know, they're playing really well and they're hanging in there, but it does feel like,
Well, he's playing a hit in that one, so.
you know, if they get tired out or if they start missing, they could slip.
Yeah.
Well, I like the Osterhaus rink. I like their chutzpah. They're staying in it.
They're chartreuse.
Not having a very successful weekend thus far, but they're battling in this game very well. The hit, he did roll out. Would have been nice to have stayed around the house there or been on the inside of that rock. Instead, he rolled to the outside and out of the house. And once again, Andrew's looking to split the house. This is setting up very much similar to the first end that we played. Luke Violet's first
Tee.
here in the 5th. Looking to
Looks
split the
kinda hot.
house and throw one down to the tee line. In
That's
turn.
tee line, guys.
Looking pretty
Ram.
good. They're not sweeping it too much
Rams
there.
rock.
It's carrying very
like you
well
don't need to
down
go.
in there. I think he's going to be in the back house, but
here's
he
okay.
should stay in the house. Clay is on that vigorously
That's
and
fine.
he's trying to get it out, and it just bites that back ring.
You're yellow.
Wonder if he has that double there with the way that's set up now.
Pretty skinny, wouldn't you think?
Yeah,
There he comes with his outturn hit.
that's
Be
moving a
the
lot.
third, Matthew Martin.
Might catch the other side, but
Boy, he might get it from the other way. Kind of the Brooklyn side. Well, nope. That went underneath, rolled out as well. And that Osterhaus rink is
Back
having a little bit
12.
of trouble with their hits and sticking around.
That's okay.
Once again, Stopera looks to split the house on the other side. We have one rock to go on sheet 1. Playing the 4th end. In a 7-1
Where?
game. That Madison, or I'm
Here's
sorry,
good.
the
Where?
Page rink. Madison, jeez, I'm
Here
really
then.
confused. The Bear rink is
Ben,
controlling
just
very
top
well.
12. Right here. If it's short, you got to be here.
I thought it was
Good,
the
good.
Paget rink. That's what you said yesterday.
Okay, that's fine.
Paget.
French.
Paget.
Just as good as back.
Looks like Clausen is sitting 1 over on sheet 8.
What?
And I think they're looking to play a guard there too.
They missed the last one narrow and they tried to go with the slash. And it was like,
I know on the last shot Moore looked to, I think, run something back, and they almost ended up putting another Clausen stone into the house, but moved all the way through. So
Mrs. Clausen has got her rosary beads out now. She's standing behind us.
she doesn't even hear you anymore.
If she starts speaking in tongues, then we know.
I'm kind of scared because I'm kind of in the line.
yeah. It's that or we go. Yeah, I guess here.
Here comes Jack's rock.
Give me center line.
Jack
center
Clausen down as a guard. And I can't see the scoreboard over there. Are they looking to steal that Clausen rink?
I think so.
Yes.
Just
Well,
letting
they're
you know you're
in
cleaning
really
Mr.
nice
Massive
shape
hair.
right now to do that.
Just letting you know you're cleaning Mr. Massive hair.
Looks like Moore's looking at a double.
Don't worry, guys. Top 12.
Well, if they're in the is this the 4th end?
Yes.
So then Moore's got hammer. Yep.
Our game that we're calling is about full one end ahead of everybody else. Except for sheet 2, Kitchen's running rink. Those rinks are getting close to
Top
Skip's
12,
rocks.
Just top 12. Top 12 is
Here's
perfect.
Andrew's rock looking to sit 3,
Whoa.
top 12 with the intern.
Just top 12.
Once again, a lot of pressure put
Keep
on
it clean. Keep it clean.
Clay Osterhaus rink.
Yep. Oh. Good sweep.
The nice thing about that too is, as fast as this game's been moving along, they won't really have to be as concerned about their time that second half of the game.
It will be interesting to see the play calling in that second half, especially if Andrew comes away with another point or two here and has a 2 to 3 point lead. He's going to be looking to peel and play a defensive game, keeping as fewer rocks around as possible, and hopefully Clay will do just the opposite.
Yeah.
looking to play a draw game, an aggressive game, get away from all this hitting they've had to do, see if they can mount a comeback.
You gotta roll this way. Oh. Okay, 2. And curl a lot the one way.
Anybody still with us here? How many viewers we
I'm
got?
I'm here.
2.
Two viewers?
58.
58. We're growing.
climbing.
58 strong.
Yeah.
And that statistic is, you can't, if you had 2 streams open on the same computer, that doesn't count as 2. It's per computer. So
Did you set up a bunch of computers back at work? Yeah. So there's really 3 viewers and 52 computers.
Clean, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Andrew's last.
Whoa.
Here in
Clean.
the 5th is looking nice to peel that Clay Osterhaus rock out and sit 3. Did have the hammer. I am sorry. I didn't realize they had the hammer, and they do score 3. And that is really going to open things up for them after the 5th end in the break. Do we want to run down scores on the other sheets?
sure. All right, so sheet 1, Bears up 7-1 over Page.
Actually 10-1 now.
Oh, live updates from the sheet, 10-1. Sheet 2, Running is up 4-1 over Kitchens after 4. Sheet 3, looks like Quello is up 3-2 over Normandu. Sheet 4, what is it, Podel? What do I always say wrong?
Podell.
Podell is up 3-0 over Traxler.
Actually, Podal.
Yeah, Podal.
That's how it
Sheet 6, Fenson is up 4-0 over Altus. Sheet 7, Slusser is up 8-0 over Thompson. And sheet 8, I think is tied 2 apiece.
It is tied 2 apiece. They are in the 4th end, that game, between Moore and Clausen, 2 teams very familiar with one another.
Who's out there cleaning the ice?
That would be Mr. Jimmy Aird, one of the ice makers here at the St. Paul Curling Club for many, many, many years. Jimmy has been involved in this curling club, if I am not mistaken, for very much near 60 years.
Wow.
He helped Adam and I hang the cameras because I was freaked out about being out near a ladder on the ice.
It's a little scary. I've done that, yes. Yeah. Jimmy is a mainstay here. He is a wonderful guy. He still curls a couple nights a week as well. I don't think it's actually 60 years. I think since the 60s is what I really wanted to say, but a long time nonetheless. And he has done wonderful things both as an employee and as a volunteer here for the St. Paul Curling Club.
So, Scott, what was this Vikings thing that you were going to talk about at the break? I've never heard of any curse.
Well, they are definitely cursed. If you remember back in the day when they built the old Metropolitan Stadium down in Bloomington, they built it on Indian burial grounds.
I don't remember when they built it.
Probably one of the worst things you could ever want to do. And, of course, they're 0-4 in Super Bowls. And they seem to have this poor jinx and this big gray cloud that's hung over them for 40-plus years. And a good friend of mine, Scott Schwann, who was a Viking fan through and through his entire life, has a theory that if Ted Nugent rides a great white buffalo across those old Indian burial grounds where Mall of America now sits, that would lift the curse on the Vikings. And I am a full believer in that. And I've been trying to reach Terrible Ted, so if anybody out there knows how to reach him, there is a great white buffalo in captivity, unfortunately, but it is in captivity in South Dakota. and I think we could get this done.
Well, I mean,
Let's go do it tonight. I'll steal it.
That could be part of their New Year's Eve celebration coming up, too. Never know.
The Vikings New Year's Eve celebration?
No, the one at the Mall of America.
Oh, they do a New Year's Eve celebration?
Yeah.
Do you think that if we went down to one of those parking lots there and bought a bottle of Buffalo Trace, do you think that would have the same effect?
And played Stranglehold?
We got a pronunciation correction via which I won't be able to remember, but I'm going to read it to you. Steve Shield says Podol is pronounced Podol.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.
Steve is one of the, if it's the same Steve Shields, which I would assume it is, he's I believe the president of the Fargo Moorhead Curling Club and one of the gentlemen that was very instrumental in getting that new club built up there not long ago. Part of the Shields family that has Shields Sporting Goods in the North Dakota area and South Dakota areas. Matter of fact, I bought my first shotgun from one of those stores down in Sioux Falls years and years and years ago. Wonderful sporting goods stores.
What type of shotgun?
Remington Express 870.
So what is that, 20 gauge?
No, 12 gauge.
I didn't think you could handle a 12 gauge. I mean, you look scrawny. Does that hurt your shoulder when you shoot it?
I'm not scrawny. I'm wiry.
Steve says that checks in the mail for the promotional material. Rebecca Clark wanted to let you know that since the 60s is still 50 or so years.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. You've been instrumental in keeping us on our toes.
Now, how do you pronounce that name?
Podal.
No. Podal.
Podal.
Total.
So,
Practice.
so P-O-D...
U-L-L. P-O-E-D-U-L-L.
Okay. Podal. Podal. Like poodle.
Yeah.
But with an O.
All right, we're back in action out here.
We are. They didn't take very long of a break. Those young men are anxious to get back at it. And
So they got
Graham
3,
Benson's
and their
first rock is right in the top 4. Fine lead rock.
Stopera leads 6-2. Oh, they called the game or shook hands on sheet 7.
Yeah, man.
Kind of surprised that they're looking to throw a hit on 5 here. I kind of expected being down by 3, 4, excuse me, that they'd be playing more of a corner guard. I mean, I know there's a lot of game left, but still.
Go or draw to it.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know if this Stopera rink is going to really miss any hits. These young men are seasoned curlers despite their age. They've been playing for quite some time and in a lot of competitive events, and there's a lot of confidence in these young men, and they're going to keep things clean. So I would agree with you, Carl. I would look to throw that corner guard and see if you can come under it and see how they handle that. At least get a deuce here would be really, really good for them. And because they did roll out here, it looks like Clay is calling that corner guard.
I think he actually called it in the house.
Did he really?
Yeah. Which now would have been the perfect time for that corner guard.
Well, it looks with weight that he's thrown. Well, they are sweeping it. Well, they do have a coach,
Shot, Nate.
Patrick McDonald. And maybe that's a good discussion they could have in the near future.
Might be an issue, too, where they're just looking to get warmed up again, heading into the second half of the game, and then attack it in the 6th end, or 7th end.
Yeah, using that strategy of just doing it hits, get through it.
This rock's been thrown a bit light by the second, Ben Richardson, but they're holding it out, and it looks like he will get just enough. Remove Clay's rock, roll out.
Carl, do you know any of these sort of games like this, particularly with juniors? Is there ever like a minimum end requirement? Could you shake after the first end?
Oh, we just had a
don't
bad
remember.
pick on sheet 4.
I think there is a minimum requirement. I can't remember. The rules have changed so much. I don't know if maybe any of our viewers
Well, they
might
shook
know.
after 4 on 7. I'm assuming that that's why the question was asked.
Yeah, the 6th end here looking to be pretty clean end on sheet 5.
Certainly is setting up that way, and they've played a number of ends this way, and I think that's why they're a whole end ahead of everybody. Here comes Ben's second rock. Andrew calling it into the house, as he should, with that 4-point lead. And he's thrown very nice weight. Right to the tee line. A little bit deep. And Clay calling for a hit once again when he had the opportunity actually to draw down to that since it's behind the tee. And see if he can get an end started. But
And it looks like on sheet 6, they headed into their 5th end break with Fenson actually leading 5-0.
there is the ice crew out there sweeping up sheet 6. That would be superhero Craig Zabotnik, self-proclaimed superhero. I kind of agree with that, though. That guy can Mr. Fix-It. He can do about anything. He worked with me for a few years down here, and then when I moved over to Chaska, he took the job here, which was to the benefit of the St. Paul Curling Club. And as I mentioned last night, he's doing a fantastic job here. The ice is playing very, very nice.
You know, I came down here the other day, and he was the only person in the building. There was one car. I had to bring in, I had to drop some things off. I came out, and he was hovering over the center sheet 5 over that St. Paul logo right there. It was amazing, and he was sleeping.
Standing up.
I didn't bother him.
Only
he had a weird humming going.
Only superheroes can do that.
Yeah.
And if you talk to his wife, Pam, she would say that, yes, he pretty much lives here. And she's right. However, he does have a wonderful cabin up near Ely, Sudan area, on one of the lakes up there, Eagle's Nest, and they spend a great deal of time up there. His wife's a school teacher, and this position has afforded him some great time off during the summer. You can enjoy that beautiful spot up there. I've been there a couple times. It's wonderful. Andrew's third, Luke Violet, coming down with another rock into the house as Clay continues to hit each and every one of them that do get in there. And once again, they are having trouble, this Oyster House rink, and staying in the house with their hits. They're rolling out consistently.
Yeah, even if they roll towards the outside of the rings, make those hits a little tougher, that'd be a little bit more to their advantage.
Absolutely.
This one might roll over to the side.
Can this one stay around? It will stay around. And just as you called, Carl, that's going to roll out near the half 8, half 12.
I almost think they should have been on it a little bit to carry it over a little bit more after they made contact. But not a bad spot for it.
We got Skips Rocks on sheet 3 coming to an end. I did not see what Anya Norman do through there. Looked like perhaps she was trying to raise one back. They have hung the score, and that is a tie game after 5.
Yep.
3-3
Yes.
on sheet 3 between
Hard.
Quello and Norman
Hard.
And that, as we mentioned before, is a very important game to both those teams. Andrews first here in the 6th end. Hits and rolls to the back 4. Nice shot by that young man.
Looks like he's calling a freeze on this one.
And they are calling a freeze on this one, so this is a good call if he's going to look to get 2 in this end. Once again, no hesitation. Out he comes. That tuck slide of Clay's up on his front toes. Well, of course they're in the front, right? They're his toes.
Come on, boys.
Need to sweep that baby in there. Come
Come
on,
on, boys.
guys. He's calling for him to sweep it
Looks-
hard. It's
Looks to be
pretty
about
good
top
line.
4.
It's top 4, not a bad shot at all. He is sitting shot, which is nice. Would have been a little tighter to Andrews. Red Rock would have been nice for him as well, but fine draw by Clay. Well done, young man. We'll see how Andrews' last plays out, and if Clay will have an opportunity for 2.
Yeah, excuse me. Andrews, yeah, he's got to definitely be a little bit more delicate on this hit and make sure he doesn't jam on that back stone.
Andrews' last,
Yep.
out of hand, over the crest of the St. Paul Curling Club, and they are on it, off it. Very nice shot. He is going to roll out and leave his 1 rock in that back 4, and instead of, what are they calling here, Carl? Do you know?
I think they just got to play a hit and get out of the end.
Right. I didn't see where that broom went, but you're right. They are calling,
I just want you to know
hopefully,
where
appeal and blank the end.
No, it's pretty hard to hide it on this sheet.
I almost think with that broom, they're looking to come across the face of it, too. Yep.
They're holding it out. Nice. Staying on that line. It should
Nosed it.
peel out.
Oh, no, you got it.
I think I had a little better angle on that one. Blank end. After 6, 6-2 from the junior HP team of Andrew Stopera. They are in control of this game. They have been from the beginning. They're playing very well. I do give credit to Clay Osterhaus's team. They're fighting as best they can, and I do think, as you mentioned before, Carl, they're going to need to get a little bit more aggressive and get into a draw game if they're going to have an opportunity to get back in this before their 10 ends runs out.
Yeah, Stopera's going to be looking to probably draw to the 4s on this one, of course, and then
Close. Line's good.
I'm getting bad with his name.
Osterhaus?
Osterhaus.
Osterhaus.
Osterhaus. Osterhaus. He's going to have to just ignore that rock and get his corner guards up. Definitely get some rocks in play.
Carl, do you want to answer a viewer question?
I can try.
So in that last end, Kyle asks, why were they hitting when they're down by 4?
That's a good question. I mean, I think they are almost just looking to kind of get loose again, get comfortable after that break, and then go into that 7th end looking to have a little bit more rocks in play. But, yeah, they, in my opinion, I would have definitely been playing a little bit more corner guards and a lot more rocks in play, kind of generate some more points on my end.
John Dexter this morning had mentioned that he always coaches his teams to come out hitting after the break.
Gotta play this way.
Well, Carl, you were right, because they did play that 6th end that way, and here in the 7th, instead of removing the young Fenson's first rock, which he threw very nicely to the top 4, he did throw a corner guard, and now Andrew calling for Graham to throw a guard on that center line, which
Colin is over there yelling at someone.
Line's good.
which end were we
Ben.
in where they threw 7 guards on this same line?
Just
That
bend.
was the third end?
Third end.
Yeah.
Bend a little bit. Yep, bend. Bend. Bend.
What's
Hard.
going on down at the end?
Yeah, it looks like Colin Simpson has got Clay against the wall. He's talking to him. And the mic is muted.
Those officials, they don't mess around.
It's the coach.
They are stern, folks. Their faces are stern. Their body language is stern.
And they're probably cold. They're just not happy now.
They have those earplug microphone dealies in their ears. They kind of look like Secret Service guys. If they had shades on, holy moly, they would seriously look intimidating.
If I had to guess what happened,
He can
is
probably
remember
make the
they were,
double,
when
it's not
we
gonna stick.
started that one of their guys wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an injury related thing, and maybe they're asking, hey, we'd like to pull one of our guys and go 3 now.
Oh, that could very well be. Good thought there, Chris.
Which you would think they'd actually make that decision at the break. But
Yep.
Ben Richardson's
Hard.
first here
Hard.
for the Stopera rink, looking to double out the
Oh,
2
whoa,
yellow.
whoa, whoa, roll it that way, that way, that way, that way.
Oh, just a little bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
And it's going to give Clay an opportunity to remove Stopera rock in the 4-foot and sit 2 and build an end here. And down 4, Carl, would you tap that red rock back into the back 8 versus remove it altogether?
yeah, that way, I mean, you're generating some rocks to catch. I mean, you don't even have to play a lot of weight on it. Just play that back 8 weight or back 4 weight to just play a light tap and kind of roll under that guard or the one in the top 12.
Heel.
That was an interesting tic tap.
Yes, he
Quarter
got
rock.
fortunate there. He was a little bit narrow, and that rock did curl. But this rink, the Clay Osterhaus rink, these guys in front of him, Patrick Caden, seem to be kind of getting a lot more curl out of their rocks, especially with hits, and I'm not sure.
Look at that sweeping.
They're not starting the rock a little bit and getting it moving and curling a little sooner than it needs to be by kind of what we call turning the rock over or starting the rock, where your arm actually moves across your body, and that will make a rock really go.
Would there be any benefit to going on the other side of the house? Looks like they're trying to split the house.
They are trying to split the house, and he could come under that red guard that's sitting there. Perhaps he's saving that for later, depending how this end plays out. If he gets 2 here, it's a good start to their comeback. And if he can set it up to get 3,
Really hammering it, though, to get it in.
they are. And it's going to get there, though, I do believe. Nice sweeping by that team. Well done, young men. Andrews chosen to hit the shot rock, try to roll under the one they just threw. And here is Luke's.
Yep.
And that is a handkerchief hanging out of Luke's back pocket, by the way.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No,
But
no,
is
no,
it?
no, no.
Doesn't Hamilton usually have his stocking cap? Isn't that usually what hangs out of his back pocket?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's a big green hat, I think.
Big green hammy hat.
Do you think Luke chose that color to honor the other team?
Classy move if he did.
Yeah. Very classy. Trey class. Trey classique.
Once again, Clay has called for his third, Matthew Martin, to split the house, with Matthew's first rock here in the 6th end. No, 7th end. I'm sorry. They blanked the 6th. And he's come a little bit heavy. Andrew's sweeping it, but I think it will stay in the back. Not a bad spot for that rock, huh, Carl?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's gonna kind of make them take a look at it. I mean, I don't know if you want to really chase the one back there, but
This is the right call.
Yeah.
Get that top one.
maybe you can get the double out of it too. I mean, the angle's not that bad.
Correct. And stay out and away from being a guard if they can angle it back to the right.
Yeah, being up 4, he's just looking to keep it clean, really. So, I mean,
This is going to be close. What
Nice
a great
shot.
shot.
Nice double.
And he does roll out. Luke's played very well in this game, throwing some nice shots, both draws and hits.
Nice shot.
And that was another one. Clay Osterhaus telling him, nice shot. Once again, proving these young folks, both men and women,
you're okay.
are all a bunch of class acts and handling themselves wonderfully out here.
it's kind of interesting, too, to see this different format. It's a lot different from back when I used to play, or I think this is the first year of it, really, versus the original state playdowns where, I mean, you're used to seeing the teams you play all year long, and now you're seeing teams from other states and kind of feeling out different people, seeing what their styles are, and how you match up against them as well.
So do you like the new format?
Yeah, roll.
Honestly, no. I mean,
Because that all sounded like a good thing, right?
yeah,
I'd rather play
but at the same time, I like the feeling of the old format where each state kind of battled it out for the national title. So, I mean, you got your state playdowns done, and a lot of times when I was playing, it was between Minnesota, North Dakota, and Wisconsin. Those were always the top 3 teams. I mean, I think this kind of evens out the playing field, and it does require these junior teams to travel a lot more and play in a lot more of the competitive spiels. But I almost think it kind of hinders the growth of junior programs in a sense, because a lot of these junior teams kind of took their knocks, I guess you could say, as you're growing up, going through state playdowns and trying to improve year after year. I get the idea behind it, where it's requiring a lot more commitment and trying to generate more of a high-level outcome at the world level with this format. But I guess I'm just a bit nostalgic, I guess you could say.
So you think that it might be good for the development of a powerhouse team or two, but it might not be good for the growth of the sport in a junior sense?
In my opinion, yes.
That's a pretty reasoned answer. That was a very good answer. Thank you.
I was curious, too, in regards to how many teams across the country played in their state championships last year versus what occurred this year with only, I believe, 11 boys teams or men's teams signing up across the country between the East and West region.
Yeah, I know some Wisconsin teams didn't go.
Right. So curious just to know, like, in Minnesota, in Wisconsin, in North Dakota, which obviously tend to be the more populous states of curling, and how many teams did play in those state championships last year versus how many did sign up this year to go. And it does, one thing I did hear from a number of parents was it does hinder costs. If you've got to go to a regional, for instance, the Traxler rink that's here came all the way from Alaska, and they could have played out of Alaska in that state championship and then gone straight to nationals most likely. And so
Steve,
growing pains is
Steve Shields said
what we're talking
31
about.
played last year total. 31 teams total.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, so, and you're right, Carl. Then that is a valid point. There are fewer teams playing now, and that's to me, kids need to be playing games, and that's what's most important.
Steve also says he qualifies that with an I believe.
Oh.
Wow.
Rebecca wanted to say, if you think about the growing popularity of the sport in the West region, Arizona, California, all these, if you think about, having state playdowns there, that grows the sport faster, I suppose, than having just one region.
Sure.
Right.
I agree. But we'll see. It's an exciting time in curling. There's a lot of changes going on in the last few years. It's great. We're seeing growth. There's people sitting on both sides of the fence, but what matters is, the game is bigger than any of us.
Yeah.
And it'll go on long after all of us are gone. So
Really?
have fun with it. And
You really think it's going to go on after the three of us are gone?
Well, I don't know. Stonecast, if that goes down, that could spell doom for the game.
And Broomgate will always be around for everyone to talk about, I'm sure.
Here we go. Back to sheet 5.
Back to sheet 5.
Did you guys know that you can clean those new curling broom heads with oven cleaner?
Oven cleaner. Do you think that'll get them back to being directional brooms? Directional sweeping? If they put some kind of chemical on it? And
Good thinking.
Good
thinking.
I don't know.
All the way.
So that's a serious comment that you can clean them.
Yeah. It was at Hardline's website. They showed a demonstration on how to clean brooms.
This is how you do it, I'm betting. You take your can of oven cleaner, you spray it on the ice, you rub the broom head back and forth.
I'll have to test that theory out.
Yeah.
Do it in Chaska.
He doesn't like the peels on that.
I'll do it on an end sheet. Nobody likes end sheets.
So we're done on sheet 5 with the 7th end, which Clay Osterhaus Rink did end up with 1 when he made a fine draw in and a force to the 1. And it is now 6-3. The Stopera Rink in control with Hammer playing the 8th end. And across the other sheets, sheet 1 has been done for some time. Bear taking care of the Page Rink, or the Page Rink. Kitchen's running on sheet 2. Has a score of 3-5. The running rink in control. Sheet 3 between Coelho and Norman Dew is a very tight game, playing the 6th end. Still tied 3-3 down to Skip's Rocks here. We'll see what happens. And then I will let you guys take it from there on sheet 4 between Traxler and Podol.
Looks like Traxler is down 2-3 against
Podol.
Podol.
Think poodle, but say Podol.
No, it's
Well,
Podol.
now that I'm
Okay.
now that you said that, I'm just gonna be thinking poodle all the time. That won't be right.
So in sheet 6, we have Fenson is up 8-0.
Which fencing is that?
It's the older Fenson.
That doesn't help me.
It's Fenson's son.
Oh,
The other fence.
the other one, Fenson Jr.
Yeah, that is a game they've had under control against those young men from the Bay Area.
Is that whole fencing rink out of Bemidji, this whole one, or are they kind of split up too?
I would not know. Are they? Is that a HP team as well? I would think so.
I don't believe so.
No.
No, I don't think so. They're not wearing the fancy uniform.
Yeah.
And then on sheet 8, Moore is up 4-3 over Clausen. So Rebecca Clark was wondering, how does cleaning it with oven cleaner not violate the rule that says it cannot be altered by any chemical?
'Cause nobody knows.
That you're cleaning it with oven cleaner?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
It's not Alex Fenson. That's also, we got that from the comments.
Is that?
It's not Graham.
Is it,
I can tell you if I
who
have my-
said to clean it with oven cleaner, Carl?
It's on the Hardlines website.
Hardline is a Canadian.
It says
isn't that-
Riley
Wouldn't
Fenson.
that be Mike McEwen's kind of? Isn't he
Yeah.
much involved in the Hardline line?
Yeah. You can't disagree with Mr. McEwen.
Well, you could.
You could.
Nah.
I'd be afraid of his hair. So Riley Fenson.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for that update.
Hey, do the Vikings play the Bears this weekend?
They do.
Is there any chance that the Vikings will win?
Not at this rate.
I don't know if it really matters, once again, but anyway.
We
Who
just
cares?
broadcasted that on the internet. I'm not sure what we broadcasted, but probably the chemical nature of. We don't do that.
Here on sheet 5, Clay Osterhaus is trying to get an end set up here with a couple of guards up front, and this guard is coming right down next to the other one and has done what?
Knickers.
Knickers.
A pair of knickers.
Trousers. Pair of pants.
Knickers.
And left an opportunity. If he hits that top right one first, which he's trying to do from our angle anyway, the top right one, he may clear 1, 2, 3, 4 rocks plus the shooter. Let's see what happens here. Out of second.
Call me crazy, but that
Ben Richardson.
It's a yellow that he's trying to hit. If it hits off that other yellow, a certain way that might jam on that red, kind of funny. But
well, that one stayed right out there.
Oh.
And he did make a nice shot there. I was thinking he'd get to the inside of it. It would roll up and over the other one, clearing those two
Pretty nice one to get that one
off and split them back towards the two guards that were sitting out on the wings. But
yeah.
I think you might have been a little wide. I'm not sure. Andrew might have wanted that anyway, so nice shot. They're keeping the front relatively clear. We do have one guard up there, and Clay calling for another.
Yeah, he's got to make sure that they have good separation, though, too. Don't really leave a double. Otherwise, you could be starting at square one all over again.
Correct. There is a young lady playing on sheet 4 for the Traxler rink, and she is playing lead. And that young lady looks like she can't be about more than 10 or 12 years old, perhaps. She is a little tiny squirt, doing her best out there.
You should watch her sweep. She's got really interesting footwork.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
She's a new curler, I think, by the looks of things, but good for her.
She's got really cool shoes.
She does have really cool shoes, actually. I'd like a pair of those.
Yeah.
And they are in a tight game, and that is a very important game. I like to root for the underdog, like I said last night.
I got to say, some of the footwear out here is getting kind of impressive. There's actually a kid that came to the TCCA junior program that actually had light-up shoes, gold light-up shoes.
Curling light-up shoes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right?
Was it bedazzled?
No.
Hey.
But I mean, that could like bring it to a whole nother level.
It'd probably scratch. That's.
Yeah.
I think maybe we could get everybody in a pair of those and do some lights out curling with glow in the dark curling shoes. How fantastic would that be?
That'd be pretty fun.
Sounds dangerous.
Why?
And that's why I like it.
It scares me, but I like it.
Oh. All right, so Carl,
Yes.
see, you're learning so much here.
You gotta refresh your screen.
The
too.
cleaning video only applies to the original hardline broom head. It does not apply to the Maxim line, whatever that means.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the Maxim line is. I mean, I know they're, yeah.
Here comes the young Luke Violet out of the hack with his first, I believe. Yes, his first here in the 8th end, throwing an in-turn hit on Clay Osterhaus's number 4 rock.
Luke's had a very good game.
Luke has had a very good game, and he's got very nice control weight that comes up wonderfully, removes the Osterhaus rock, and sits in the 8-foot. And once again, Clay is calling for a hit, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, especially with it being behind the tee line. I mean, that's perfect opportunity to just draw right up to him and kind of generates more
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Kevin Johnson is rubbing my shoulders. That's fantastic, Kevin. Thank you. He's here and getting ready to play in the U.S. Open at the Fogarty Four Seasons Curling Club. When's your first draw?
5:15.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
5:15 tomorrow. Big game.
He is one of the star-studded curlers that'll be featured up there.
Absolutely. One of the best seconds in the country.
Yep.
Will he have light-up shoes?
Best peel weight in the game.
If he has light-up shoes, I'm going to go watch.
I think all those fancy curlers should have light-up shoes.
Yeah, and be bedazzled.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Liberace vest. Ooh. Now we're talking.
Luke's second is coming down the ice, and he is looking to draw that T line on the 8-foot, in the 8-foot, with an in-turn, coming home just across the St. Paul Curling Club crest, crossing the center line into the house, and the boys are not touching that rock as it's just a skosh heavy. It's going to sit back 8 to the back 12. Another nice draw out of that young man. Once again, we talked about how difficult it can be. You throw that hit with your first rock and then come back with a draw with your second. Not an easy shot to make sometimes.
And now he's making that call to draw to that back.
Oh.
Draw to the rock and freeze to it, but I mean, I would like to see him making that call a little bit earlier.
I would agree, especially without the hammer. And down 3. I would think that if Andrew gets 1 here or 2 here, it's going to make things very, very difficult in the last couple ends for the Osterhaus rink to mount a comeback. He's got nice weight on this.
It's going to over curl on him, though, it looks like.
Soft handily through there, and it is over curling, as you called, Carl. Not bad at all. Good effort.
So we got a little information about the teal-colored shoes. That young woman there is Miranda Shield.
We've gone back to the Shields.
She's 13, and her dad is watching.
That would be Steve again.
Yeah.
Wow, it is a small world.
Maybe he can tell me. I asked Dex this because she's got this. I noticed a lot of curlers do this thing where they kick up their back foot. Like they'll slide and then they'll push off and then they'll kick it up. And I asked Dex about that. I've noticed that a lot. And it's a technique. And it looks like she's working on that technique.
Isn't that a Pete Fenton technique?
I don't know.
I think he kind of does that.
Would not know.
Well, it looks cool. I couldn't do it. I would kill myself, but
I like to work on my off when I'm sweeping. When you're
like not sweeping?
When you're done sweeping a rock and you're told to get off the rock, or you know it's time to stop sweeping, is you kind of vigorously throw that broom off to one side or the other and kick a leg up and give it a little pizzazz and style with your finish. And that keeps the crowd involved. Believe me, you've seen it.
Oh, well, now Steve says when you only weigh 80 pounds, that's all she can do to get her weight on the broom.
I'm surprised
That
she weighs
technique.
80 pounds. She looks like she doesn't even weigh that. But that young lady is playing her heart out, and that is a close game, as we mentioned. It is 3-3, and they are playing the 7th with Yellow Rocks, which is her team, having hammer. They just threw a nice peel to open up a possible run back if the guard is missed by the Traxler skip. I'm not sure what this young lady, whose Traxler's first name is, but
Yeah, it looks like Stopera's throwing his last one here. Looks like he's going to look to hit and roll, keep that hammer going into the next end.
yeah, if he's up 3 playing the 9th with the hammer, he's in very good control. They have controlled this game from start to finish. Sheet 6 is now done, which is the Altus Fenson game. We don't need to mention the score there. Fenson controlled that well. Those Altus kids have learned a lot, I would think, being here, new to curling out of the Bay Area.
I really like that score, actually, because I can totally get that. They were down by a lot. They scored 1, and they're like, okay, we're done. We got it, you know?
Yeah, those kids are carrying themselves well, despite not having a win. I don't believe they have a win, but I bet if they do this again next year, they're going to have some wins.
Yeah, and this is kind of like how the state playdowns used to be. It's just for some of these teams, it's more of a learning experience playing at a competitive level, and you do try and come back the following year and improve upon that, and definitely learn from any mistakes that you made that prior year.
Was there some rule about how you qualify for this? Because like out east, they didn't have enough teams sign up. But what happens if, say, they have 8 on each side? What happens if 16 teams wanted to play?
Just here in the West, perhaps?
Yeah.
They would have pool play, I would imagine, then. It depends on how many teams do sign up. And then they make a decision whether they're going to do a round robin or pool play, which would lead to kind of a page playoff, perhaps, if that's what they decide, or a Final Four.
So they would just let whoever sign up.
Absolutely.
Well, then looks like I have a chance.
As Steve Shields mentioned, we seem to have lost quite a few junior curlers in this change of process here. It's a little bit unfortunate because there's nothing more important for these young people to do than play games. And if they feel they don't have that opportunity to compete well enough, or it becomes a travel issue and cost issue for mom and dad, that's really, really unfortunate.
Now, does that U18 program kind of follow the same format, or is that a little different?
Well, that is what they're hoping for, I do believe, is to have a U18 or under 18 program in each state, correct?
I believe so.
Run by their state associations. I know the Minnesota Curling Association will run that this year. I'm not sure where it's being held.
Was last year the first year they did that, or was it this year?
The U18's been going on for a while, I believe. I know it was in force when I was in juniors, and I believe Aaron Wald was one of the rinks that actually ended up going 1 year.
That was a great shot by the young Fenson there. He played the tick shot, which moved that center guard from Clay Osterhaus rink way off to the wing. And there's a great example of the free guard zone where you can move a rock and it would stay where you moved it to versus removing the rock and putting it out of play, in which case it would go back to where it originally started from. And he's calling this same shot once again. So, folks, this is one of the hardest shots in curling, a lot of people will say, just to be able to throw enough weight and tick that center guard over one way or the other and not remove it from play.
Yeah, and this one's really curling too. I mean, the danger of it too is if it curls too much and you got enough weight on it, you could end up pushing them right into the house and then cause yourself a whole other set of issues.
Swept it right out.
Well, and there you could see he did catch a little bit more of the center of that rock and did exactly that, pushed it out of play, so they removed the shooter, and Clay got to put his guard back where it was. And now with the opportunity to come under and maybe build an end for a steal. Mr. Mike O'Neill is here. One of my good buddies and teammates. Nice to see you, sir. Cheers to you. Mike was timing the game, were you? Thank you for doing that. Mike has been a stellar participant of the St. Paul Curling Club for quite a few years. Mike has some great stories about curling. If the Stonecast crew ever wants to interview him, he can tell you a story of what did you guys do? The longest consecutive curling? You and Splash and the boys did the longest Guinness World Record.
I was only an observer.
You were only an observer?
Splash and Willie and Timmy Benton.
Tim Benton and Splash and Willie Farbelow, Mike's brother, they were out here back in the 70s, and they threw rocks for like 3 straight days. And the families brought them meals, and they slept in sleeping bags on the walkway, and someone was out there chucking pucks for 3
Just 3 of them?
days. No, there was a number of other guys involved in it. Tom Lutkins, I believe, was involved in that as well. They got a whole book on it, and at the time it was a world record. For all I know, it still stands today.
So nobody could get their draw weight? Is that why did it go on so long? I got nothing.
You don't. Yeah, that's not even. That's bad.
Carl's laughing.
Well, yeah, that should tell you something right there.
Oh, you're a master. You're a master.
Back to curling on sheet 5. Here is Ben Richardson's
little rocket.
I believe first, maybe second. A nice peel on that guard rock.
What?
Look at all those rocks on sheet 3.
I mean, if I have to touch 4 for 1.
That is a draw game going on over there, very aggressively played by
Like
that
singles are
Quello
only, honestly, almost
Normandy
like good.
rinks.
Unless it's real easy.
And at this point in time, Quello has taken the lead in that 4-3 after 6, and they do sit 1 here in the 7th,
Line's good. Wait only.
forcing a timeout by the Anya Normandy rink. Excuse me.
And it looks like the Moore rink is up by 2 in, I believe, the 7th end against Clausen.
One of my teammates is down there. She's an official there and checking out writing some notes about the placement of the rocks. And she just erased something.
Is she looks very stern. Is she stern when you're playing games like officials are stern, out here on the ice there?
No, she's not. She's a very good curler. Yeah, she's a very strong curler.
I see Mr. Kevin Edwards down there on the far end. He's an official, and he is very, very stern and upright.
What do you think he would have done if Andrew hadn't caught that rock and it would have hit him right in the feet?
I think he would have stopped it with his foot.
Would he have grimaced?
Nah, he's a seasoned curler. He knows what he's doing out there. Another guard coming out of the Clay Osterhaus rink from his 3rd. Matthew Martin, double M. I suppose people like to call Matthew M&M. Matthew Martin.
That would be a pretty cool, good nickname.
I wonder if he's
M&M.
related to Kevin Martin.
Probably.
Could be.
Doubtful. If it's the Kevin Martin out of Alberta, one of the greatest curlers in the history of the game.
Can't roll too far.
I think he wrote a book.
I thought Jeff Stoughton was. No?
Close.
Close.
I have a Stoughton broom, by the way. Jeff Stoughton broom.
I know that.
That's pretty sweet. I like that thing.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Off.
Here's that intern hit, that line we were calling earlier, and Luke kept it on a very nice line. He did roll out, but I don't think they're too worried about it. It does give Clay the opportunity to come under that corner guard that he's got setting up there. If he can make this shot, he might put a little pressure on Andrew Skips rocks. We'll see what happens.
Claudad333 has just said that this is the first year for a U18 championship in the U.S. In the past, we sent 3 representatives to for the U18 championship.
Where is that?
Canada.
Canada.
Oh.
Oh, and then we have Hannah Bozer says that he would not like it if anybody called him M&M.
Yeah.
So she might have to start doing that.
Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate
Smiley
it.
We're
face.
definitely done. I mean, he's going to go there, unless we're like here, he's going
Unfortunately,
there, so.
Clay has come up light, and Andrew is going to beat him under that spot is his call.
Here is to there. So.
He's looking at 4 feet of curl, and that's exactly what they're going to hold here. Luke's put the broom down. Andrew's on his way to throw his first here in the 9th end. Am I right about that? Correct? Yeah, 9th end.
Fighting top 4 is good.
Some of these games are coming down to it. That important game on sheet 3 between Quello and Normandy is going to be a fun finish. Maybe we could get the camera flipped over there. Hey, technical guy. What do you think about that?
Ladder.
Seriously? You're going to try and... No, you don't want to get a ladder. Don't let Solom get on a ladder no matter what you do.
Looks like Clausen's team is in a bit of a tough spot right now with Moore's team appear to be sitting 2 or actually possibly 3 or 4. Clausen's looking to, I believe, draw to the one that's on the back 4.
In the meantime, Andrews Rock didn't seem to want to curl over as much as he thought, and he's left an open hit, which isn't the worst thing, and Clay has decided to hit it versus maybe just tapping it back, but he's got to get under those guards one way or another, and he thinks this is his best way, so good for him. I think he's throwing
Side do you guys think?
kind of board weight to
Which
tuck
side do
under
you guys
there.
think?
Come across the face
Well,
of
what's-
Andrews Red
what's
Rock
left?
and tuck under the guards on the top right as we look at the
Just
sheet.
wasting time.
And it looks like the Moore rink did come away with a steal of 2 in that 7th end. Bring the score them up 7-2. Oh no, they got actually score is now 9-3.
That's unfortunate
Whoa!
for the Moore rink, but our local boys, Clausens, are finding it tough to get into the field of nationals unless they can win their next 2 and get some help from someone else. Fine shot by Clay Osterhaus there. He did make the hit and tuck
There
under.
you go, Pat. I toned my weight down.
And we'll see what Andrew did. I didn't see what call he's made. He's coming down to throw his last.
What? That's fine.
Not sure if they're just going to... Nope, straight draw into the 4-foot. Good call by the young man. What do they say? Don't skip if you can't draw the 4-foot, right?
Exactly.
I only know one person who says that, and he says it over and over and over.
Got the
John Dexter.
Adam Height guy, that technical wizard.
I just learned that John Dexter thing. So
Did you?
Dex.
Big John.
Big John.
Big John.
I like to play
This one is
lead
a
because
little
I
On the T
tight.
line.
like to draw the 4-foot,
I think
and I
he-
can't throw a hit.
Whoa.
Andrews Rock, they're staying
Let's
off
stop.
it, so they're confident of the line, which they're right about. It looked
Wait.
a little tight to me initially, and they're staying off it due to weight. And he's going to be just fine as that grinds down in the slide path. Sits back 8, but just enough to score. It is now 7-3, Stopera after 9. Clay thinking about whether to play that last end or not. They're knocking knuckles down there. I think they're going to play the 10th anyway. And good call out of them.
Yeah, get a little bit more experience out there.
Well played end by Andrew Stopera Rink. Once again, as we've mentioned a number of times, they have kept the pressure on end after end after end, and it is coming down to an easy finish for him. It should be up 4 without the hammer, but no worries out of this seasoned young rink. They're all smiles right now as the fencing lad throws his first right through the house to keep the house clean and not allow for much to happen. So over on sheet 3, we did have a steal of 1 by the Quello rink. They now lead 5-3 after 7. Coming back towards the home end, playing the 8th
Against Normandy.
against the local gals, the young Anya Normandu and her
I just
teammates.
noticed that Marin was waving at that rock from behind.
It helps.
Yep.
That would be Marin Barrett playing lead, Sydney Warch playing 3rd, Anna Netterberg playing 2nd for that rink. And they're young gals. They're, I believe, just in their 2nd year of playing competitively, maybe their 3rd and they are all about 15 to 16 years old, so they've got a number of years left to compete in this, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with before their 18th, 19th birthdays come around. I can promise you that, especially if they stay together as a team. They are good curlers, and they do get on the ice quite a bit in the wintertime. They spend time at it, and they really enjoy it. And they are very pleasant young ladies.
Yeah, I've watched them practice quite a few times, and they definitely go into their practices with a focus. So, I mean, they're definitely headed in the right direction.
They're also sponsored by Terrapin. So
What's that?
That's a good Terrapin.
Yeah.
Terrapin Curling.
Maryland Terrapins?
Well, that is one Terrapin. Yeah, they're sponsored by the University of Maryland Terps. Wow. Go Terps.
Go Terps. No, I know that Terrapin Curling is
it's huge.
Your business. And
yeah.
For those of you that don't know that might be listening and new tonight, Stonecast.rocks is definitely worth checking out. Christopher here and his cast of characters, including Jordan Wicklund, do a lot of interviews of local Midwest curlers and managers and ice makers, and they do a great job.
Yeah, we talk about interesting things like spreadsheets and making ice.
You know, I love flow charts.
Well, you had me at love.
We're thinking of making a flow chart at the Chaska Curling Center in regards to your to determine someone's level of curling. We would give them a flow chart, and it should be interesting. Jeff Isaacson, the manager there, is a master's degree chemist in what is that? What is it when you get your master's in
chemistry?
In chemistry, thank you. I'm not sure what kind of chemistry he has his master's in, but he is a bright young man, and if anybody can create a flow chart, it's that guy.
So does he have a master's degree?
He does.
In science?
In chemistry.
Yeah. Did you now? I don't know, Jeff, and I don't want to be disrespectful.
Then don't.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I can't imagine you being very disrespectful. Do you have a question?
I'll talk to you about it after.
Okay.
Offline.
Don't worry about it, Jeff. Everything's fine here.
But that was a Jim Ed Poole reference, and if anybody listened to NPR back in the 80s.
No.
Jim Ed Poole used to always say he had a master's degree in science. He also spoke mostly about, well, whatever. If nobody's listened to NPR in the 80s, they're...
Fine Peel.
I was born
Fine
in
Peel by Ben Richardson there, keeping the house clean and empty altogether. The Clay Osterhaus rink is basically down to their final 5 rocks, needing 4 of them to score. Could be a tough go.
What just happened on sheet 4? They cleared it really quick. I was just noticing how close the score is.
I'm sorry I missed it. But the game is still going on here, and they're going to start the 9th end.
There were a lot of rocks right in that 4-foot. About four actually. I didn't think any more could fit in that.
How many can fit in the 4-foot?
I think the answer is 8.
14. We already discussed this.
It's impossible. I don't believe it.
I'll prove it to you later. We'll go down on the ice, and I will prove. Do you want to make a bet?
He's an ice maker. He's kind of supposed to know
That
this.
technical producer guy over there, he's nodding his head yes. Hey.
No, I'm good.
So,
last possible rock for the Clay Osterhaus rink here to be scoring. He's got to come into the house, which he's called it to do. However, don't they just have 3 rocks left?
Hey, Scott, turn to your right.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I could use a little something to wet my whistle. Are we keeping everybody entertained out there, or what are we down to now? We had 55. Was that our top number earlier?
2,927.
Yes.
Oh, that's the bit rate. 50.
50.
We've been kind of
We've
hovering around
maintained.
50.
I suppose if there's anybody on that East Coast, it's getting kind of late for them. It's 10:15 for crying out loud. I'd normally be cuddled up with a book. I'm reading a classic right now, by the way, if anybody cares.
I care.
Go Tell It on the Mountain, James Baldwin.
I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I sing the song frequently.
Another PO by the Stopera rink, and this game is officially over.
Do you think Andrew's dad was watching the stream?
And they're shaking hands out there.
Because if he was, I'd give him $50 to get a patch on his jacket. As long as he plays with Gamo. Those two together.
Sure. Which one wrote "Sweep Like a Badass"?
Gamo.
Was that Dean?
Yeah, there's a new edition out that covers all the new rules.
Oh.
The Dean updated.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's interesting, these electronic books. You update them, and then it's just like a software update.
Version 2.0.
Yeah. So what's going on in sheet 3? There's a lot of rocks down there.
Who sweeps like a badass at the Chaska Curling Center, Carl?
That'd be one Susan Merrick.
No. Missing an appendix?
Yeah, hashtag RIP appendix.
Mm-hmm. Sheet 3, you're right. There are a lot of rocks in play, a lot of guards at the top of the house. Red has seemed to have gotten under first and is sitting full 8 near the top 4. Sitting 1 and actually throwing another rock. The Norman Dew rink does have opportunities to promote a stone or two if they will need to do that near the end of the end played. We are in thirds rocks on sheet 3. I'm not sure the young lady throwing the rock right now, but she is
they're inspecting brooms down below.
Turn guard weight. I think she's trying to guard a promotion of the yellow rock that's on the center line.
I hope they didn't use oven cleaner. I mean, that might be against the rules, apparently.
Oven cleaner would probably clean a lot of things. That's got to be kind of wicked stuff, you know?
Yeah. I haven't cleaned my oven with it yet, though. Only my broom. It worked.
The young men on sheet 5 are all shaking hands. Game is completed. The stern and ever-present Colin Simpson, the official, is making sure the boys are...
I want him to come up here and explain what the heck is going on.
Let's get someone to go down there and have him come up and explain the sternness that we see.
I think we do have to kind of give a shout-out to all the volunteers, though, that are helping make this event possible. I mean, there's people doing scoring, running clocks. A lot of people are helping make this happen, and definitely thanks to all of them.
You're right, Carl. That's a very nice thing to say.
I would like to thank the volunteer that poured Mr. Belvich another beer. That person is doing great work.
Helps keep Scott in his seat.
That's that technical guru guy over there.
It's nothing like getting a nice, tall, warm beer.
Anya Normandeau working on promotion. She's a bit light and a bit wide and didn't quite get to the rock she needed to get to. Quello still sitting 1 and really looking to take control of this game if they can steal another and go up 3 after 8. But it's not over yet. Anya Normandeau will have one more to try to get one of her yellow stones in a scoring position to keep this a 1-point game on sheet 3. Sheet 4, we're at a 5-3 score after 8. That is the ever-important Traxler Podal game.
Podal.
That was fantastic.
You like that?
Yep. Can you say it with a French accent? Padood. Baguette. Croissant. Padood.
Latin-speaking folks roll their R's. Don't the French kind of kind of have that.
I don't know. I'm going to France. I'll let you know.
Okay. Have fun.
Do you know when the Clausens are going to Mexico?
I do know when the Clausens are going to Mexico.
When are they going?
Ew. Why do you ask?
Well, I'm going to Mexico, and I was just thinking it'd be kind of interesting if we went at the same time.
That would be very interesting if you guys went at the same time.
And if you're on the same plane.
Could be a fantastic spot to have a stone cast interview on the beach in Mexico.
Scott told me that he wants to do an interview while playing a game.
Curling.
Yeah.
Of curling?
Yeah.
That kind of game?
Yeah.
He is a fantastic bumper pool player, by the way.
I used to play bumper pool with my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to curling.
Sheet 3, Anya Normandou's last rock, the hammer, is coming down here in the 8th end.
She's going to try to tap that in?
She really needs to get one. And she's throwing similar weight. They're really trying to hold it out, and it's curled up a little too much. She has crashed on the guard, unfortunately. A steal of one for Quello. They now lead 6-3 after 8. That game is far from over. Those two teams have played with a ton of rocks in play. And what happens when there's a ton of rocks in play, Carl?
A lot of points.
Opportunity to score a lot of points. So we have how many games still going on? We have sheet 2 still going on with the
Kitchens and running.
And the running rink is that game very much in control, playing the 10th end up 5, I believe. That game is coming down to its last rocks, as it were. And sheet 3 we just called out. Quello stealing one more. Sheet 4 is still occurring. We are in the 9th there with Portal throwing a nice takeout. I believe that was her third, or perhaps her second. No, that was her third. And Traxler, I can't tell who's sitting shot there. Can you guys tell from over there in that angle? Is that red
yellow
Traxler rock?
Yellow is.
Yellow is shot, so that would be the Portal rink with shot rock on that fine hit and roll that their third just made. And here comes young Miss Traxler's third, trying to promote her red rock that's in the top 4.
Does she have enough room by that guard? Or?
She's getting by the guard, no problem. I'm not sure she has the weight to promote her rock. Sometimes what you see happen is teams leave the ice. The ice can actually change a bit, stiffen up a bit. You lose some of the humidity and warmth that's out there from the bodies, and the ice can actually slow somewhat, especially late in the game as we're seeing here, and maybe that was the case. Or maybe she wanted a guard.
Is that due to sublimation, Chris?
I don't think so. Yeah, I actually like it when the ice is a little soft. It, in case you fall, you bounce up a little bit.
Very fun.
This morning, though, we were watching Beth Podol with Dex, and she's a really smart skip. She makes good shots, and she knows how to call a game.
Well, here she is. Her third has come out a bit narrow, I believe. And they're staying off the rock. I think she's looking for a guard here.
Are we boring you, Scott?
Did you hear that yawn? That was a small one.
Yeah, the whole internet heard it.
A little late for him.
No, we're down to 39 now. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. My fault. Is Rebecca still watching?
I don't know.
Well, we do have some interesting games still going on. Is Sheet 8 still going on, or is that game completed with
that
the
game is done?
Moore and Clausen rink, and Moore rink does win that one. That pretty much guarantees them a spot into the Nationals, I would think.
Moore moves to 4-1, and Clausen 1-4.
That's a solid position to be in at 4-1, with 4 of the men's teams moving on. So as we get down to the last couple draws, what are we seeing there, Chris, for who's looking strong to make it to Junior Nationals, which I do believe are held in Fargo this year?
Yeah, Fargo. And yeah, we could go buy a shotgun.
No, we do that. Well, I did that in Sioux Falls, but
I have relatives in Sioux Falls.
that's a nice little town.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
I've been there twice for funerals.
Sorry about that. Fargo's a very nice town, too, if you ask me. I enjoy visiting up there and hanging out up there. It's a cool little spot with lots of fun things to do.
Apparently they have a pretty interesting hockey arena there. Like a 10,000-seat hockey arena or something like that.
Wow.
15,000, and they do...
Not the Fargo Dome.
Is that the Shields or?
I'm not
Shields
sure.
Arena, yeah.
You know, I just hear little bits of information, then I just fill in the blanks to make it sound interesting, and it might not actually be real.
It works out, though.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
I do believe Junior Nationals. I wonder if they'll hold that in the Shields Arena or if they'll do that at the Fargo Moorhead Curling Club, which is a 6-sheet club. I'm not sure where they'll hold that. If they have to have Junior Nationals in an arena similar to the big boys and gals.
I think they still run it in curling clubs for juniors.
Mm-hmm. It looks on sheet
I'm pointing
3.
at Colin.
Oh.
It looks on sheet 3 as if the Norman Dew rink has gotten under with a good shot and having the hammer. They have another shot here. She's kind of clawing another card. I'm not sure if she couldn't promote the one on the outturn side, but and sit 2. But it is just her second Anna Netterberg throwing right now, so not a bad call here. Make sure she's got a rock available to her on that intern side. Gales are sweeping it as best they can.
So Steve said that Junior Nationals is at the curling club, and Shields Arena only seats about 4,000. The big hockey rink is, the U rink is up in Grand Forks, and that seats 13.
Sure.
That's got the big mall. When I used to live in Red Lake Falls, Minnesota, we used to always go to Grand Forks for Christmas shopping. Big mall there. I don't remember the name of it. I was pretty young.
Fantastic.
Well, Trexler has a nice draw in.
Yeah, it looks like they had called the timeout previously to that shot, too.
It looks pretty close. I can't tell which one is scoring. The yellow in the back or the red in the front.
Well, I think that red rock that she just threw is definitely shot rock right now. At least from my angle.
Well, you are taller than I am.
By a long shot.
And you're also long of tooth.
Didn't we get into scrappy one night? Talking about what you got to be scrappy?
Yeah. You don't qualify.
I don't qualify. I'm wiry.
Yeah, wiry.
Yeah. You're scrappy.
He's not skinny, he's wiry.
You and Carl both are kind of scrappy. I think you got to be under 5'8".
Yeah.
Is that the definition? And
hey, is tonight the 30th or is that Friday night? Is the Ronda Rousey fight tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. I won't be able to watch that.
She's scrappy.
I've been giving up my evenings for this. I'm not going to be allowed.
Carl's big into MMA. He judges fights, don't you, buddy?
Yep. Just was down in Austin, Minnesota earlier in the month, judging some fights down there for Sterling Entertainment Promotions. Pretty good fights.
In Austin, Minnesota.
Yep. Spam. It's spam down.
There's too many players.
My lovely wife
Lonnie
Joanne
is
is
in the
from
way.
Albert Lee, so right next door to Austin.
Joanne is pretty amazing.
Yes, she is. It's nice of you to say, Carl. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In what sense?
As in? She makes great cookies. I can tell you that much.
She puts up with me? I think that's where you're going with this.
Does she make
that's
as good
like a
of?
Medal of Honor type of deal.
I was gonna say, does she make as good of cookings as running? Apparently, she makes fantastic cookies.
Miss Carrie Benton makes fantastic cookies as well.
So many cookies.
You know what?
It's so little time.
I would tell you right now that I could probably make better cookies than all those people.
Really?
Yeah, if anybody could put together a competition.
Carl will put it
Yeah,
together.
but you can't go to like the state fair and grab a bucket of Sweet Martha's. I mean,
They're not that good.
doesn't count.
I don't think they're just in quantity.
True.
They're pretty good, but yeah, I agree. There's better cookies than Sweet Martha. I thought Carrie Benton should go into business for herself making cookies.
All right, take it back. I don't think that I could make better cookies. If you think that she should go into business, but not your wife,
well,
then I think that I'm probably better than your wife, but not as good as Carrie Benton.
frankly, my wife does do a little bit of cooking for financial gain for some folks, and she is a wonderful cook.
Okay, well, I'll tell you
and
what.
baker.
This is what I'm going to revise my statement.
And a baker.
I think that I am going to be, between those three people, I will definitely be in the top three.
Okay. I would agree with that, too.
And we'd all be winners because we'd all have cookies.
There you go.
Yeah, there's kind of, it's tough to have a bad cookie, isn't it? I mean, there's good cookies and there's not so good cookies, but you can't really ever say there's like a terrible cookie,
You
can
could
you?
really mess up a cookie.
Can you?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe because my wife is such a great baker that I've just never had a really messed up cookie.
Nothing seems to ever go wrong.
All right, so we're in the 10th end on sheet 4.
1 point game with the Podol rink in the lead.
Yep.
With the hammer as well. And the Traxler rink trying to get a guard set up, and she just did not have enough weight on it. As we talked about earlier, most teams are all gone from the ice, and as it's gotten late in the game, that ice can stiffen up.
It's getting sticky out there.
Well, and it probably starts to flatten out, though, too, doesn't it, Scott, with all that, I mean, being so late in the game and that pebble wearing down?
Yeah, Mr. Zabachnik knows what he's doing with the pebble. I think it's probably holding up just fine, especially in the middle of the sheet. Might be getting a little sticky in that slide path area, but this young lady that we were referring to earlier with the fancy shoes and the Shield name has thrown a fantastic lead rock right to the top 8, and considering they have the hammer, that's a pretty good spot for that rock to be, forcing Traxler to make either a play on it or throw us another center guard. So we'll see what happens here. She's not quite sure what to do. She is kind of calling for a hit now. Nice stone by that young lady. She had to get all 80 pounds behind that rock and get it down to the ice. It weighs more than half of what she weighs.
It's like their hits on par.
Looks like it's going to roll out of the house, which will be just fine. Well, no, it is going to stick around a bit.
Is that legal to wave it out of the house like that?
Absolutely. And they're not sure
something
if it's
happened.
in or out. That rock might be in, might be out. The opposing team tried to help it along and stop the Podol skip from being able to sweep it. Which I'm not sure would have actually helped it much. But now she's questioning to the official whether that rock should be in play or not, because the Traxler player did kind of interfere with her, and they're all talking about it. Official.
This reminds me of that Schuster rock
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a good one.
Mr. Randy, I believe that's Randy, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Karneski, perhaps? He's been doing a lot of officiating for USA Curling over quite a few years, and he is probably going to be confident with his call.
Lonnie's got his back, too, staring.
As does Colin Simpson. There are 3
Oh,
officials.
yeah, better circle the house.
And I tell you what.
At least we've got an MMA official up here, too, in case we need to do any scoring.
If those guys were wearing sunglasses, man, oh, man, it would be awfully tough out there. I think the kids would be shaking in their curling boots. Anyway, they have left that rock in play, which I do believe
look
is
at
probably
that. We got
the
some
right
smiles.
call. And the young Shields lady, I do believe that's what Miranda was that? Bringing another rock down here into play. It will be shot rock right near the tee line, a little bit into the back 8 perhaps, but not a bad place for it at all, considering that they do have hammer. They are just going to have to play a hit game from here with their second and third stones, the Podal rink.
So on sheet 3, Normandu got 1, so they're down 6-4 with
1 end to play.
Quello having the hammer with 1 end left.
That's right.
Now I'm kind of surprised she's not playing the freeze on this. It looked like she called top 4s.
No, she did call, well, near freeze. She's calling it right around the tee line plus maybe, and this rock has all of that weight, it appears. It's really going to need to curl over to get on top of that yellow rock. And unfortunately, it looks a bit heavy. Reaching the tee line, and they are sweeping it back. Little tick. Can't quite see. I think it stayed in the house.
It did.
Yeah. But yellow's still sitting 1, and she needs to make a decision here with hammer, which would be a good call to split the house.
What are you doing with that microphone there?
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch things.
Well, I'm trying to.
No. Do whatever you need to do.
Trying to
You're the talent. If you need me to get a masseuse in, I'll get a masseuse. If you need a masseur, I'll get you a masseuse.
My shoulders are a little tight. I feel a little
Kevin
nervous
took off,
through this
though.
whole thing.
Yeah, these chairs I find sitting here all day is, which I'm sure you're used to because you used to be ice maker here.
I'm used to just being on my feet.
You sit up here all the day. Every time I sit here, this is what the ice makers are doing. They're sitting here. Well, some of them are.
Well, it just magically happens. Ice.
Yeah, well, just put some warm water out there.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. A nice hit made by Podal's second with her first rock. They are behind the tee line, which really isn't helping them out much with just a 1-point lead. And the young Miss Traxler in her Patagonia jacket, being that she's from Alaska, that's very appropriate. I'm actually wearing Patagonia jeans right now. They are fantastic. They are so comfortable.
They look comfortable.
I really like it. But they're going to draw right down on those 2 yellow rocks that are behind the tee line, and unfortunately with this rock, her second is looking a little bit light. And
Maybe that's what we need to improve our talent, Chris. Special pants.
For what?
Improve our talent.
On the broadcast?
Yeah.
All right, next time we'll get special pants. If we're going to get any kind of pants, though, we're going to get cool pants.
Like the checkered ones?
No. I like cool.
Loudmouth pants?
No, we're not doing those. Jordan already has a bunch of those.
Jordan who?
Exactly. Jordan Loudmouth Wickland.
Oh, yes.
Miss that guy.
Yeah, I've seen those on Jordan. The Podal rink has flashed, trying to peel the red rock. They are still sitting shot. They do remove one of their rocks that's in the back of the house, which honestly is probably not the worst thing that could have happened. Traxler is looking to come under the red guard that's top 12 or down to the yellow rock. Either way, they'll be in pretty good shape there, which would probably force the young Miss Podol to try and peel that same rock she just did, which is in the top 12.
Yeah.
Kind of no matter what happens here, but
It's a good call.
we'll see.
Looks a little heavy. I think they're sweeping for a line at this point.
It's really curling right on that spot. Here it comes.
Oh, man, the weight wasn't that bad at all.
Tend to see that with curlers. You know, most of us are right-handed curlers. We tend to see our in-turns curl a bit more than our out-turns.
I'm a lefty, so no.
Well, we see your out-turn just kind of stay where it is. You tend to set that thing quite a bit, but
It's kind of my thing.
at least in Hibbing at the last chance. Of course, you were setting your left-handed out-turn, and I was setting my right-handed out-turn, and
You had to match me.
we were having trouble making rocks curl.
But Brian pulled it all together.
Yeah.
Usually.
We played on Sunday. That'd be Brian Sparstead, my stepson, who's a fantastic young curler.
Also out of the St. Paul Curling Club.
Yeah, we've curled together down here for about 10 years now. And it's been my pleasure to curl with that young man. He is a wonderful guy to play. We play a little softball together. We curl together. Play a little golf together once in a blue moon.
Are you catcher?
In softball?
Yeah.
No, I'm a
Manager?
typically infielder, shortstop, third base.
Aren't you too tall for that? I mean, it's probably not fair for the players hitting balls.
Did you ever meet Cal Ripken Jr.?
Nope.
He's a big boy. He's a big, tall shortstop. Wiry. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about two important games right now on sheet 3 and 4 that are coming down to thirds rocks. Where are we at, Carl?
We're at the third rocks. Yeah.
That's what-
Go ahead, Chris.
Also at sheet 4, Trexler, Alaska, needs to steal one. And they're not sitting one.
No, there are a lot of rocks in play here for the Podol rink, despite them having hammer and being up one. This is not really how you'd
She's
like to
willing
see
the
them
rock.
play out, but they are sitting 2, and that's a good position to be in. Miss Traxler is getting ready to throw her first skip stone here, and if she can make a little bit of a, she's going to draw right under.
And then on sheet 3, it looks like we have skip stones going.
We do.
I don't think she's drawing under it. I think she's just tapping it back, which I'm still kind of.
Oh, no, we don't have
impressed
skip
with it.
stones on 3. We've got thirds stones.
Third stones on 3, you're right. And red, the Quello rink that is up to with the hammer is sitting in the 4-foot and the back 8, sitting 2 with a nice guard up there. Anya Normandeau calling for a draw into the full 4 to see if they can't come up with a steal of 2 before it's over. Here comes the young Miss Traxler's first stone on sheet 4. And I think you're right, Carl. I'd perhaps try to promote or tap that and roll under a bit, but she has come up about 6 feet light. We've seen a number of rocks happen that way, and once again, maybe the ice is stiffening up a little bit as everybody's cleared off.
Yeah,
Well, that draw was pretty nice by Normandeau.
That was a very nice draw by her third, Sydney Warch.
Yeah, Trexler, I was thinking was going to come with more of a hack weight type shot and just kind of get that roll underneath those guards. But
Right.
looked like she was just playing a
Why
small
wouldn't
tap.
you? Why don't you to do a double and take those? Could you get those 2 out? Because they would be sitting shot then.
Yeah, but she could still be shot with just the one hit and roll. I mean, you're not really too concerned with that rock in the back. I mean, if anything, it works more to your advantage.
To keep everything forward.
Yeah.
I agree. Here comes Miss Podol's first rock. Sitting 2 top of the button, back of the 8, 1 and 2. She's trying to get to the center line with a top house type of guard, and it looks pretty good. The gals are sweeping it. All 80 pounds of Miranda's weight is on that broom, and this is a nice guard.
Very nice shot.
Very nice shot is right. And
We're
I like
looking at
this
her.
call by Miss Traxler. She's looking to promote her Red Rock. She doesn't have a lot of it to get to, but the shot is definitely there. It looks like she's calling normal type of hit weight to promote her Red Rock back on the Podal Yellow Rock in the forefoot.
She got to nose it, or she got to get a little bit of an angle on it.
She can put a little bit of an angle on it, and it's in the right position for that. So if she makes this shot, it could be something special, and we could be seeing bonus curling. We could have an 11th end.
Definitely, we need a whiskey to deal with that.
How many people are watching right now?
Oh, there's an empty one. 32.
Here comes the shot out of Miss Traxler's hand, crossing the far hog line. It's looking good. And
oh, look at that.
oh my goodness, it's a beautiful shot.
Awesome.
Wow.
She made a peach, ladies and gentlemen, and it is sitting shot full 4 at the top of the house, forcing the young Miss Podal to have to get a little bit more of the forefoot closer to the button, and it's there for her. And the way the rocks are moving tonight, I think definitely the curl is available to her. We're going to see maybe 2 spectacular shots in a row for a win or bonus curling.
Yeah, there's nothing better than bonus curling.
Yeah.
Tiebreaker games.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for that. Who sings that song, Divorce? You know that song?
I don't know that
An
song.
old country song.
Sounds like a Waylon Jennings type of song, man.
Yeah, it's a woman. I think Tammy Wynette might sing it.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Miss Podal's final rock, and they're staying off it. They think she's got plenty of weight, and the line looks very good. It's curling in. They got to be a little bit careful here. Don't lose it, ladies. Here it comes. Down into the house. It looks good. They're getting back off it, and this rock is going to be about an inch and a half heavy. What an excellent effort. What an excellent effort. And 2 great shots by those 2 young ladies with their last stones.
Or it could end in a tie.
I'm not sure what they're calling here.
If it does end in a tie, we're going to have to modify the kiosk because our kiosk does not support a third column down in the lobby.
I don't know what any of that means.
You know how there's an
There's
electronic
standings.
scoreboard, it has the standings on it?
Yeah.
We have wins and losses. We don't have ties.
You'll have to forgive Scott. He's not really into technical things.
No, I'm not. But we're going to see some bonus curling. Ooh. I think that is game on sheet 3. Yellow's needing to score 2. And they are done throwing. This game, I do believe, is over, unless I'm not seeing a yellow rock on the far end. But no, they're shaking hands. The Quella Rink has been successful in winning a very important game. I do believe they go to 3-2.
Oh, my teammate Aaron's down there writing some notes. You go, Aaron. Write them notes. All right, well.
Adrenaline's probably running pretty high now on sheet 4. I mean, pretty amazing end on both skippers throwing some pretty good shots.
Curling. Sheet 4.
Mr. Edwards is now up here, one of the officials on the ice. He's done with the game he needs to officiate, still looking very stern, even though he's just watching curling at this point. Kevin, can you hear me over there? Let's see a smile. A little smile. There it is. There's a little smile. It's the first official we've seen smile all weekend.
Colin smiled.
Colin did?
Yeah.
He's a smiley guy. Kevin.
So Trexler's lead throws a hog stone.
Kevin is one of those guys that you mentioned as a volunteer that needs to be thanked, along with many, many other people, including the Ron and Brenda Paul. They're also sitting to my left, Ron being the vice president of the St. Paul Curling Club, soon to be president in a couple years. Helped organize this event with a number of other people.
So it's a foregone conclusion that Ron is going to be president?
Well, there could be a, what do you call it when you send a piece of paper around and have a bunch of signatures put on it?
Vote?
No, not a vote.
Oh, yeah.
What do you call this?
Ballot?
Ballot?
No.
Write-ins?
No. Well, kind of like a write-in.
Insurrection? Coup?
Kind of like a coup, too, yeah.
Uprising.
Revolution?
We have the famous ice maker with us now.
Mr. Zabachnik is here. Mr. Zabachnik, that was fantastic ice the kids are playing on. You've done a terrific job all weekend. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm very happy with the ice and the way that it played for everyone. And we're looking forward to tomorrow.
How many draws do you have left?
We have 2 draws tomorrow, and unless there's tiebreakers.
Tiebreakers, here we come.
You're a funny guy.
An ice maker's dream come true. A bunch of tiebreakers.
Hey, Scott, I think you can talk on either side of the mic.
Oh,
I think it's the same on this side.
Well, no, you
as
told
on-
me
Nope.
yesterday.
I was wrong. You're right.
Okay, thank you for.
My
Thank you
mic's different.
Thank you for listening.
Can you still? No, you can't. Cause
It sounds weird.
Yeah.
It actually sounds kind of like Barry White.
I know some Barry White songs.
All right, there's serious curling here going on here, and we're talking about Barry White.
Okay, sheet 4.
right.
It is serious curling. We are in the 11th end in a 5-5 game between the Traxler rink from Alaska. They had a Fairbanks.
Yes, sir.
And the Podal rink out of the Fargo Moorhead Curling Club. We are into Seconds Rocks here.
Looking for a guard.
Correct. The Podal rink throwing yellow rocks has the hammer. And the Traxler rink has got one full 4 and throwing a guard on top of that, which is getting a little bit tight, giving the opportunity for a double to the Podal rink, her second.
Could be another end where we see 7 guards in a row.
We did see that in the Stopera game in the 3rd end. Young Fenson threw a perfect lead rock with a 3-point lead, I believe it was at the time, or a 2-point lead, right to the top 4, and they guarded it with 7 straight rocks, and that rock ended up scoring.
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight of that game.
The double, just missed the double, but she did a nice job of rolling out to the corner to make sure that that red rock that is shot for the Traxler rink is still open, unless this guard that they are going to throw on the intern side covers it up once again.
That was kind of a close one, too, because she almost jammed on her own yellow in the house. And then red would have been sitting, too.
This young lady here has thrown a couple of very nice shots throughout the course of this game, and this guard looks to be like another one. They're trying to keep it moving, trying to pull it to the center line, and it's going to be over there just fine. Nothing wrong with that. I would still hit that top red guard, play it tight. If you do get by it, you can remove shot rock, but boy, you don't want to be wide here. If nothing else, make sure you get that guard out of the way.
She have enough room to roll under, I think?
I don't believe so, no. Not from this angle. And she's done what she's supposed to do.
Yeah,
They're
got the
trying to
guard
hold it out, but she is on that guard, and she will peel that out just fine. Good shot.
Yeah, that works out.
Yep.
Looks like another guard going up here.
That same intern side, you're right. Could this, well, this would be number 4, I do believe. Or perhaps at least the third guard. And this one is definitely a little bit more inside on that line. And if they sweep it too much, it may overcurl and leave an intern hit
Yeah, they're needing
available.
it to just die now at this point. I think it worked out.
Worked out pretty well. It's a nice high guard, but they can definitely get around that and to the shot rock. But same thing here, right, Carl? They want to make sure, if nothing else, they do peel the guard she just threw. If they skinny by it, they will certainly get the shot rock and sit 2, and she is a little bit wide.
Might come back enough, though, with that weight.
She's got it, that's for sure. It's coming back. She's going to have enough of that shot rock to move it out and sit in the 4-foot.
Guys, I don't know if this is going to make any difference, but you'll notice that the officials have switched sides.
Ooh, that is important stuff.
Colin is on that side, and that guy's on that side.
Colin is studying the column that he's leaning against.
He's like, is this going to stay?
Is that? And Colin's wearing a nice cap where Lonnie doesn't seem to need a hat or gloves. Colin is well bundled up. Here we go on the same line. Intern shot for Red Rock Trexler Rink. Looking to hit shot rock in the 4-foot of the Podal Rink, and they've accomplished that with a nice shot. However, who is shot? Because the Podal Rink does have one biting the 4-foot on that right side.
I think they still have to go after that Red Rock, though, definitely.
That's exactly what they're doing. That red guard on that center line up high, boy, that makes me nervous. I got to tell you. I'd rather almost see that rock gone than the red rock that's in the house.
This looks a little out, too.
It's coming over, and the girls are helping it by waving their hands at it. She has removed it. Yellow Podal does sit 1 as we are now into Skips Rocks. And
so the Skips are going to go back in the house now, or back in the hack, and they're going to make their shots.
Boy, they made a couple of dandies in that last end.
Yes, they did. And I definitely think that fate rewarded Alaska with that one. That was a heck of a shot, and I think she deserved to get that point.
Oh, for sure.
I would agree with you 100%. It was one hell of a run back. And she didn't have a lot of room to make it, and she made a peach. And here comes her intern draw under her guard that sits on the center line, which once again, that could be the problem rock for Team Podal. And if she makes this draw, it's going to be exactly that, and it is looking pretty darn good. And she has got to get it into the 4-foot.
She's willing it in there.
Sweepers are really dragging it, and they just don't quite get there. Carl, what do you do right now?
I almost think she goes in on the other side.
Yeah, I'd draw to the 4 on either side. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to leave that hit.
Timeout by the Podal Rink. They're not sure what to do.
Is that legal in an extra end?
I'd say you peel that top guard, make them throw either the draw or hit on your yellow rock. Perhaps they're sitting 2, but you've got good options, because if you don't make this draw, I don't know, but I suppose the out-turn draw, the miss is a guard on your shot rock, right?
That's true.
Or if you do make it perfect, you come under that red rock that is in the house, and you're in really, really good shape. But as you did mention, Carl, she would still have that
intern
draw or a hit and roll on her yellow rock. That's all.
Their coach is Frank Podal.
Frank Podal.
Officials meeting mid-sheet.
I wonder if Frank was a curler back in the day and perhaps employed the Manitoba tuck. by the look of that left knee of his.
What's the what did you say? Was it you that was saying about North Dakota that they have that special slider, the hand slider thing?
The knee slider?
No. So Miranda's got it on her broom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little piece of metal or something that you put in your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's if you want your broom flat on the ice versus up kind of behind your back. Helps you glide down the ice very nice. I'm not sure if she employs that or...
Well, I've seen her with it.
Maybe it's a good luck charm.
I thought that I was with you, and it must not have been you. Somebody said that, I mean, it was Pete. He said that that's often, a sign of a Dakota curler.
Definitely. I would agree with that 100%. And they have chosen the out-turn draw here, and by where that broom is, I think they'll be pleased with a guard, and that is not a bad call at all.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think leaving them that draw is kind of almost a tougher shot. She would have to get full force.
Right, and she just threw the out-turn draw to get where she is, so making her throw the in-turn definitely have a different feel. This rock has in-house weight, that's for sure. Here it comes. It's starting to curl up nicely. They're holding it out. It's going to be right in the full top 12, maybe touching 8. No, just biting 12.
That over curl?
No, that's a nice shot right there, I got to say. And now Traxler will call a timeout. She's going to have to throw the in-turn draw. I think she knows what she needs to do. She's saving a little clock time by calling the timeout.
I'm really proud of us as a team that we settled on that shot.
Well, I was wrong to start with, but I do like that shot as well. I think they made the right call.
Should we figure out what they're going to call this time?
Oh, she's got to throw an in-turn draw, don't you think here? She's got a couple ways of making it, for one.
Could she tap hers up?
Well, correct. That's what I meant. In a couple ways of making it, she either makes a straight draw, or if it curls up hard and she has that T-line or back four weight that she should be close with, she very well could tap hers into being shot. But I think she would look to make just a nice straight draw right into the forefoot and really put the pressure on the young Podol skip.
Traxler is coached by Leland Rich.
Could she do an out-turn draw to the yellow?
Yeah, could she hit that outside yellow?
I think she could definitely draw down to it and maybe bump it back a little bit. But, boy, if you wreck on the guard, the game's over, right? I think this is the right call. There's nothing impeding her line here. This is basically a little bit easier shot and one she's thrown before. So we'll see. They're holding about mid-12 with the in-turn.
So Steve Shield calls that a cobra, the thing you put on your broom. Cobra. Cobra. That sounded more like an asp. An ass.
We call 3-putts cobras when we're playing golf in the summer.
This looks a little light.
This is definitely a bit light and definitely narrow.
And it's moving over.
And it is going to crash on the top guard, and Miss Podol will not have to throw her last rink. Congratulations to the Fargo-Moorhead rink. They have won in an extra end here at the St. Paul Curling Club on sheet 4. Bonus coverage.
Bonus coverage here live at St. Paul. We have something special for you planned tonight. Carl and Scott are going to go out and they're going to do a draw to the button contest.
No, we're not. But we
Scott
could go show that we do and can get 14 rocks inside the forefoot.
Let's do it.
Do you have the camera on the sheet? Would people like to see this? Somebody tell us. Come on, Steve.
Yeah, if one person tells us, we'll do it. Sheet 5.
Tell Steve Shield.
Steve or Rebecca.
I think you should actually ask the ice maker for permission before you do
Well, we're gonna fucking.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it anyway.
We have to ask the permission of the ice maker.
He said it's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
No, we're not getting any takers.
No takers?
Oh yeah, everybody's logging off 25. I guess
Nobody cares.
the North Dakota people are probably like, well,
There
I
it
guess
is.
I
Oh,
guess
yep.
yes.
There we go, yes.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yes. And I'll do some social media to try to get the viewership up.
She has those nice shoes.
Well, I'll stand the mic. You guys go down and.
No.
Oh no! You're the guy.
No, this is your gig.
All right, come on, Carl. Let's go. Let's go
All right.
pile him in the 4-foot.
No. Craig gets on the mic and.
Oh, Steve now he'd like to see this happen as well. Oh, now we're going down to 21.
Oh, yeah, look at this. You've got all.
By the way, I probably won't be back on the mic. Chris, I'd just like to say once again, thank you very, very much for having me on. It's always a fantastic time.
Yeah, it's been very fun. You're very fun. You're very knowledgeable about the game, and bringing Carl in was excellent because Carl's got a lot of good perspective.
What are we doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you to Carl and everybody here at the St. Paul Curling Club, and good luck to you guys the rest of the way.
Oh, Courtney Irene has got a yes. All right. The big thing will be to see if we can get 14 rocks before we have 14 viewers.
Before I did. Where do you live?
Oh, we're at to 20 viewers. Craig, do you want to get on the mic and commentate
Yes, he
this?
is going to. Yes, he is. Yes, you are. Yep.
The 14. How about you, Adam?
St. Paul Curling Club Iceman is going to do the commentating. I
gotta go and shit.
No, bullshit. Get on the.
Hey,
get on the mic.
this is a junior thing. No swearing.
I'll give $1.
Oh, $1. All right.
You got it.
Oh, we're down to 19.
Craig.
All right. What we're doing is we're seeing if we can get 14 rocks in
14 rocks
in the 4-foot. So we're going to get
introduce him.
yeah. Craig Zabotnik, the head ice maker here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or the St. Paul Curling Club. He is monitoring his precious ice.
At all times that we were watching it. So.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, he's lining up his rocks.
Now, do you think his hat will fall off while he's doing it?
It'll be a scary thing if it does.
Oh.
We'll be blinded by the light.
All right, so I see. Oh, he bumped that one out on the left-hand side. The yellow 8 is outside.
And his bet is how many did he say he could get in here?
14. I thought you could only fit 4.
Oh, no.
Well, how are they going to get more rocks inside? He's going to have to lift those over. Oh. Oh, now somebody should go and just.
What do we have right now?
I bet it's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, 13.
Here's his last one.
Oh, and Erin's down there. She's officiating. Write it down on the clipboard.
14?
Yeah, we have an official. We have official out there. They got all night for this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Steve says. Steve from Fargo says we have all night for the ice crew to work on the ice.
Well, Steve, if you have really nothing to do, come on down. About 2.5 hours from now, we'll be done. So we'll take all the help we can get.
All right, we've got now. I want somebody to hit that. See if they can bust that out. Yeah. Well, can you hit it? Do a hit. Bust it out. Go down there. Throw a rock. Bust it out.
Go ahead and kneel down now for a while, too, please. Put some handprints.
All right. I think that's it. Steve
point?
says that he's going to be doing it. Steve Scheel, he says he's going to be doing this again in 2 weeks. He'll be doing the ice. So.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, in
Love
Fargo.
It. Love it.
I think.
Well.
Switch the cameras. Oh, we had the cameras switched. We missed that whole bit. Okay, don't move them. Just a sec.
There we go.
And here comes. Oh, and we're gonna have.
We got a shot.
Yeah, we're gonna have. Yeah, Scott's going to try to break those open. How many do you think will get out of there? All the back red ones are going to fly out.
Oh, I've got my doubts if he'll even be able to hit it.
Oh, that's not very good form, is it? Oh,
Look like an ice maker throwing a rock.
yeah. This is like, when you play pool, you hit it off the side. All right, here we go.
He moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rocks
Yeah.
out.
Just
4.
one out?
Adam's giving him 4.
Four for what? Thank you, Courtney, for the technical guy's out down there in gray. He's the guy that switches the cameras, so I appreciate the feedback. So I think with that, we'll call it a night.
Yep, as long as I got a crew out there, I think we'll hustle out there. I've got some help right now too. So.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for the ice.
You're very welcome. Thanks for the commentary.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.